The chat is going off. We might have our boy Cedars.
Somi on the chase here is able to make it happen.
70 from Horse Girl is just sticking right to that.
Then gets the angle with him all over that door, folks.
Musha does, running his nice, clean lead.
Nice cookie on the lead, throws it in that corner with all the angle. We in there again to that first inside zone is a wild.
Feeling outside zone.
All the way to that last zone.
Championship Season 3 Round 10 winner is gonna go to Ion. Good evening, welcome to the Savage Outlawz Gaming Drift Championship. It is the finals of Season 3, and we are here at the gas station over here on Red Rock, and it is a beautiful, dry, dusty, sandy afternoon, evening here. I'm Alex, and we are bringing you the action this evening. I am here with none other than Brian. What is going on, my friend?
What's up, brother?
We ready to rock and roll? Oh man, I'm doing all good. I know you've been under the weather here for a little bit, but are you ready to roll for this evening?
Oh, dude, I couldn't have kicked it any faster, I'm telling you.
We are ready to knock it out tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the top 16 drivers from Season 3 of S.O.G DC, and we are ready to throw it down tonight. So without further ado, we've already got our first two drivers lined up on the starting line here. Look, you can see them getting fired up and ready to roll here. It's going to be Blue and Mason, and we're going to have Blue on the lead for the first run, and we're going to see this line in action before we go over it tonight here. Outside zones 1, 2, and 3. You can see a little shallow on 3 there. And you can kind of have an idea of how this course is laid out just from watching these guys making an expert level run of it so far. Mason right on the door of Blue all the way around. You can see as they come through the gas station, you hear a little contact, but it didn't seem to affect the line. Filling these zones out all the way. We could not ask for a better first run from these drivers. Look at that, taking out the picnic table
Not
and
at
everything. How about that for a first run?
If that isn't just a preview of what is to come for the rest of this evening, I don't know what is. That was textbook. We got Mason in the lead this time, Blue on his door. Mason a little bit faster out of the gate through outer 1. Coming up through 2, 3, and 4. He's a little shallow on the last 2. Coming through that inside touch and go. Going to come around the gas station. They're going to push it all the way out under those trailers. Very, very, very well done on that one. Gonna come up and touch this nice little transition point through underneath the gas pumps. That is a tight little corner. Blue is tire to tire.
Oh
with
my
Mason
God,
around
on the door.
Whew. Good Lord, they were tire to tire. If you were IRL, you would be watching those cars climb each other.
I'm telling you, these guys are going, oh, they came back to the start line. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to go over here by the judges and hang out. Well, man, what a great run to start. Well, real quick, while we have a little bit of time, because I'm sure the judges have got a lot to look at for that run, we're going to look at our event lineup here. So starting out, this is going to be the starting line here, lined up with this pole on the right side of the course. These drivers will take off. Their initiation is right here, starting at this little inside curbing area. They're going to have an outside touch and go right here on the gas pump. See this white line here? That's going to be the first outside as they make their way around. Make sure I got my map up here right so I can see what we're looking at here. All right, so you've got that first outside. This course gets a little, it's easy to watch, but when you actually start breaking down the zones, it gets a little intense. So the corner of this outside rail here is going to be the first touch and go, or the second touch and go, my apologies. Touch and go 2. 3 is going to be the center of the radius of this line here. 4 is going to be the center of this radius here, right alongside this yield sign. And then we're going to have an inside touch and go right here on the inside of this, right where the initiation line is, basically. Same kind of spot, right about in here. They're going to have this outside again, right here on this line. And then they make their way around over here to the trailers. So this is, in a way, its own touch and go, as you could physically clip this trailer right here. So that's going to let the judges know if these guys basically have a tire drop in this section. But these cars can fit underneath this trailer section here, and they make their way around over here. The next outside zone is going to be these boxes over here by this building. Same type of situation. We know if it's a tire drop, if these boxes get hit. So it's going to be, this area is going to be the, let's see, what would that be? Outside, this would be outside 6, I think, keeping up with things here. And as we make our way around, then this is where we get to the second tight portion. Getting under the truck is going to be pretty difficult, under the trailer there. But then you have to come through the center here, and it's going to be an inside touch and go. So the nose of the car is going to be facing this way on this line before they transition back to the left coming out of here. So they have to come in between the gas pumps here with an inside zone. And it's going to be wild. And then we hit the same points again to finish out. So you've got, boom. Well, it'd be of the main course, it's 2, 3, 4, but that's going to be like 7, 8, 9, I guess, if you count it that way.
Yeah.
So that's what the course is going to be. And then, of course, we come back around to the finish. These guys finish this last touch and go, and the finish is going to be on this line. So, like we said, watching it happen in action, it's not super confusing, and it's very fun to drive. But when you go over all of the zones, it gets pretty intricate pretty quickly.
This is a very tight technical course that if you are not on your A game, you are going to mess up, because if you come under those trailers and they reset, doesn't matter where your actual physical body of your car is, that's a tire drop.
Yep.
Those trailers are the boundary, regardless.
Oh, yeah. Our judges have a whole lot to look at tonight. Speaking of which, we're going to be looking over at their rides here. You see S.O.G static right here. First judge of the evening. Then Cramps over here, the third vehicle. Crampini over here. And then I believe this would be Mintz right here.
Mintz.
Yep, Kaiju Mintz hanging out, and he's of course got the more than
1,000+ layer livery.
Yep. more layers than I have room for over here on my side of things. But you see this clean white machine though, looking good. So they're going to be your judges for this evening. I'm not going to. I already we done talked about it, man. It ain't happening, brother.
Dude, I can set it up for you.
It's not about that I don't have the ability. Obviously, I don't want to do it. Or it's not that I don't want to do it, it's that I'm not very supportive of the people that have written it. But that is what it is, and we're not talking about it anymore. Oh, man. But anyway, so we are waiting on their response here for Blue and Mason's line this evening. Definitely going to be a fun event. It's been a great season so far leading up to this moment, and I cannot wait to find out who is going to be champion, especially after watching that first run, man. If that's what we've got to look forward to tonight, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, this is going to be a wild one tonight, man. And I got to tell you, they, on their chases, both drivers kind of left the door open. Lead-wise, neither one made a mistake. Both of them were shallow in a couple areas. I actually think Mason was a little shallow in more zones than Blue was. But at the same flip side of the coin, Mason pulled away in a spot from Blue, and Blue didn't make that proximity up until about 2 corners later. So this one, the judges have got their hands full trying to nitpick apart, and I can tell you right now, they are going to be nitpicking. You will not get by with a safe run on this one.
Not at all. And you can see Mason and Blue here. Of course, a lot of these drivers are friends. You can see their cars making out here at the in front of the judges. Maybe they're trying to influence the judges there by giving them a little bit of a show. Now you see the hydraulics coming out. But these judges are not to be influenced.
Hey.
Their noses are buried deep in the replays. Right. And we have Biz here. What's going on, buddy?
Mason's going to take the win on that due to Blue straightening and DQing in his chase.
All right, well, there you have it. Our first run of the evening. Did not see that coming at all. You are right about that. But Blue straightened out one of the most decorated drivers of Season 3, Mason, knocking him off in round 1, and that is what a final championship event is all about. One of the most prolific drivers here in S.O.G Drift Championship knocked out in round 1. Unbelievable. Congratulations to Mason, moving on to round 2.
I think I see it.
What's that?
Where he straightened. I just went back.
Oh, you were going back and look. Oh, I got you.
That.
Just the small little details, I feel like, and when you've got the best of the best drivers of the whole season, and these guys have been practicing this line together, it's gonna come down to the smallest details.
That is the slightest of margins to straighten that too. I mean, you blink and you miss it.
I didn't see it watching live, so we're definitely going to need to. I'm going to have to be looking for those tiny details on these runs if we can spot them.
Yeah, that was a wow. I am actually not surprised we missed that, considering how fast he was able to recover that, because it didn't look like a straighten at all.
And in a normal event, you know, throughout the rest of the season, the judges may even have kind of, I don't want to say glossed over it like they missed it, but they might have just kind of chalked that one up as maybe it was just kind of, you know, close or whatever. So they just, you know, don't worry about it.
More of a correction than a straighten.
But here in the finals, that is how tight these judges are coming in to look. Of course, all these drivers have been through spec check and everything like that. And as I said, they've been practicing all week. But these drivers are the best of the best from S.O.G Season 3 here. So they will be bringing the absolute best that they have available. And these judges are going to be making sure that they look at every detail.
Absolutely.
So I noticed both of these cars. Oh, what you got for me? Sorry.
Realistically speaking, that was more of a correction than a straighten, in my opinion. I'm not saying that the judges are wrong, because obviously that's their job, not mine.
Well, it's still, yeah, absolutely.
But in my personal opinion, not my professional opinion, because I am far from that. In my personal opinion, that looked more like a correction than a straighten, because of how fastly he was able to still continue the transition.
Well, I do see that Blue and Mason are still sitting here in front of the judges, so I believe there's a conversation going on. I have a feeling, though, it might be the same conversation that that you were just having, is that they might just be specifying what went down.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't necessarily think it's going to change the judge's overall decision of Mason moving forward, but I could be wrong. But they may just be clarifying and.
I mean, that's a very good possibility. I mean, at some point, sometimes these drivers, they just want to make sure that they know where that mistake was made.
Yeah, everybody's always learning.
Didn't make a mistake, but more so the fact that they just want to clarify where that happened.
Well, and a large portion of it as well is, you know, where these, as the drivers are always learning more about the events and everything like that. But we talked about last stream, for a lot of you that were here with us, obviously there's been some, I called them growing pains, is suddenly these S.O.G drift events have had hundreds of drivers signing up, and there's been a lot going on with that. So I believe part of it also is not only are the drivers getting clarification on what is going on with their runs, but the judges also explaining their position and why they think that, and of course the event administrators, you know, maybe looking along, and obviously they're going to go with the judges on the final call. It's kind of like an umpire in a baseball game. You know, the league is going to go with the umpire's call. That's the official call. But they're also going to have, you know, discussions with the umpires about what kind of things the league is looking for in runs. So as everything is growing so rapidly here with S.O.G, all of these things kind of happen in a real-time environment. So that is quite possibly part of the discussion as well.
We're getting clarification by Mason himself in the chat saying that nobody agrees with the call because he straightened due to Mason dropping a fuck ton of speed. Doesn't matter. It was in essence, Mason is saying it was his fault.
And
Blue
see,
had to straighten.
now see, I might have to pull it up here. I might have to look at just because I'm just going blind on all this. Listen to what you guys are saying, but I mean, it's if that's true because there are no decel zones on this course because it's so tight and technical. You're kind of the car is scrubbing speed the entire time because you have so much angle around these tight corners as it is. So there really are no decel zones. So if the lead car did drop a ton of speed in any portion of this course, you know, that wouldn't be expected, I mean, that could definitely cause issue.
It absolutely could. I mean, if you over angle at any point and you scrub speeds at a faster than normal rate, which means your car basically decelerates almost instantaneously, obviously that would cause the chase driver to fault.
This is very true.
Is the lead car? It would be deemed the lead car's disqualification versus the chase driver.
Well, just so you can help me out, where at on the course? Where were we at when this was going down?
That was it's the first outside zone.
Okay.
After they come back around.
The second, so coming through the in front of the gas pumps.
Yes.
After the first loop around. Okay, I got you.
Yes.
So so right through
area.
here.
Yeah, right through there.
Okay, so this is where so Mason comes around in his transition, loses a bunch of speed. Now let me ask this though.
Yep.
Do you think maybe that the judges are saying even if that were on the lead car's fault, you know, slowing that, you know, causing an issue with the chase car, could they be saying that maybe he was going to straighten anyway, saying that his car, like in that case, if the lead car were to slow down, straightening is not an option for the chase car. Like that's not something, you know, if maybe there was a little bit of contact, they would say that contact was on the lead car, but maybe do you think that they're saying that the car straightening out in this particular area is not caused by that slowdown, but by driver error?
I don't believe so, just for the simple fact that how quickly that he straightened for that.
Okay.
There was his angle, watching it from the replay, I can already tell his angle was not going into him straightening.
Got it.
It was in the transition period that he straightened.
So he had, okay, so basically he had to grab a whole bunch of brake mid-transition to keep from running in the back of Mason's. I totally get it now. Okay. We do see Mason over there giving his thoughts in the live stream chat here. One of the major benefits of an esports type situation here is to be able to have that direct input from the drivers. You don't really get that anywhere else. And of course, in other esports, you know, while a game is ongoing, you also don't have that availability. Say if you were watching Rocket League, for example, obviously the players can't give you their thoughts on a play in the middle of a game. And that's one of the unique things to us here with virtual drifting events is these drivers can drop in and give their opinions immediately after a run.
I kind of want to echo everything that's going on in chat right now. I want to give mad respect to Mason for speaking up, because he could have just taken that and just been like, oh, no, blah, 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 blah. But the man is actually standing up and saying, hey, that is the wrong call. That is not why this happened. This has happened on my fault, et cetera, et cetera.
I fully agree with that completely. And yeah, he absolutely could have just been like, you know, just accepted it as it was. And I'm sure Blue, knowing him, I'm sure he was just like, oh, yep, I did straighten out there, my bad, and just move right along. I don't think he thought about it at all, knowing these guys. But for Mason to hop up and say, hey, you know, I'm watching it back and I slowed way down there, that should definitely be on me. So yeah, definitely huge respect to these guys, and that is exactly the level of sportsmanship that we look for as well.
And you can tell that Blue is in good spirits over the whole thing too. The man's over here playing around with his iPhone. Yeah. So there's mad respect between both of these drivers. I mean, they're both homies when it comes down to the end of it all.
For sure.
But mean, Blue wouldn't take that. I know Mason wouldn't. I know there's quite a few drivers that would not let that slide. They would be like, hey, this happened because of my mistake, not their own. So I'm very happy with seeing that this is coming out, especially in the championship round, because realistically speaking, the way I see it, you don't want to win a championship round off of a missed call.
No, absolutely. Yeah, these guys, they want to win, and they want to win the right way. They want to know without a shadow of a doubt. And they don't want to hear it from anybody else either. I'm sure they don't want to hear, oh well, you might have won, but they don't want that asterisk next to their championship title. They want to know that they got it the right way. Yep. Absolutely. See some love over there in the chat too. Some viewers from my streaming community that I have going on over there. But those guys, some people that are possibly not, they're really not interested in in drift events at all. So really appreciate them coming out to support S.O.G in their finals event here and see a little bit of what we've got going on tonight. So we appreciate them very much as well.
Absolutely. And I can say I'm very thankful that this is not a 100-person event tonight. I don't think I could handle that.
Yeah, those have gotten to be a bit taxing, but I will say we will have some more information on that coming up towards the end of the night, so absolutely make sure you don't go anywhere. Of course, this is not, like Brian is saying, this is not about to be another 6 or 7 hour event, and those are mostly going to be a thing of the past. So stick around for the end of tonight because we will have more information on that. But up next, we have our next two drivers coming to the line, so it sounds like the judges stuck with their decision. We have Horse Girl and Pibby here. And we are ready to rock and roll here as these guys launch off the line. And I do believe, is that Pib on the lead there, or do I have them backwards?
I believe so. Let me pull up.
See if I can get in close here.
Horse Girl is on the lead.
It is Horse on the lead. My bad. It was that Kaiju livery throwing me off.
Yeah.
So Horse Girl is on the lead here. The bracket was correct. I didn't want to doubt anybody, but these guys throwing down a ripper of a run so far. Seem to be close on all of these zones. Don't see any major mistake from the lead. Little contact there. Just a little love tap coming from Pib to his teammate there, having a little bit of fun. But I'm telling you, this is what we're going to be seeing all night. These drivers wheel to wheel and door to door all the way around this court. Whoa!
Whoa!
I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. Hold the phone. Get these drivers. Tell them to hold on. Our camera is going all over. Somebody, we'll go to our B-roll footage here real quick.
My Discord's messing up. Give me a second. I can't move myself. Why? We're back over here, but we missed 90% of that run.
No, we didn't miss anything because they're going to do it again. Somebody's got to let them know. I can't go anywhere, so somebody else has got to let them know.
Stand by. Let me let the judges know.
But yep, I appreciate you, man. We'll be right back. So yeah, sorry for that, everybody. I don't know. The game just like launched my camera into outer space there. All right, we've made our way back to the starting line here. I'm not sure what happened there, but man, the game just launched my camera into outer space.
Hey.
Don't know what happened with that. Well, there's Miss Dark Knight, our cone car. My apologies there. The game decided that my camera needed to be like outside of the map all of a sudden. It just launched us far away, so we did not see the second run at all. So if you wouldn't mind having them rack up and run it one more time, I'd appreciate it. Just the second run.
All right, I got you.
My apologies.
Check two versions. All good.
Now, it is also possible, because these judges, we've been working with some new technology and things. These judges are, of course, watching live in the server. And not only that, but they have the ability to get their own replays now. So they have a quick way to record the runs from their perspective, and then they can watch those views back for their judgments. So they could possibly still have that data. Here's Miss Dark Knight again. What you got for us?
I'm just letting you know, we're going to rerun the whole thing.
Okay.
But you got your camera set up?
Oh yeah, we're all good. It decided that we needed to be in outer space or something. I don't know. It just all of a sudden the camera just flew away. I've never seen it do that before. So very weird.
All right.
But we are all set.
Again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as you hear it, these drivers are going to come back across and they're going to do a full rerun of the whole thing. That was something, man. This thing just launched us out to the moon, it felt like.
Yeah, that's what I told them. I was like, yeah, we just kind of got yeeted across the whole world there. Not sure what happened.
Well, and I checked to see. That's why you saw it flick over to where my car is, kind of over there by the spawn point on the map. So it wasn't that it, like, reconnected to my car. So I have no idea what that was. Very, very odd situation there. But anyway, we are rolling again here. Horse Girl on the lead, Pib on the chase. This is a full rerun here, so we are starting over. A little bit of contact there early on, a bit of a decels there on our lead car, but we are filling the zones nicely here afterwards. Pib staying right on there. A little contact with that van on the inside of the run. We talk about how tight this course is all the way through. So perfect you have to be throughout the entirety of this run.
Yeah, this line does not make friends.
Not at all. I mean, you have to be perfect from top to bottom, and there are just a couple of minor little things there, a few little contacts, and we'll have to see the judges' thoughts on it as they rack up, ready to go again here. So we got Mr. Pib on the lead here. Horse Girl on the chase, losing a little ground here as they come around. Making their way into under the trailer here. Oh, a little contact there for Pib on that van as well. Hitting those boxes on the outside, but not the ones that are caused for a tire drop. Did make contact there with the gas pumps, and that's pretty dangerous. You don't want to be doing a lot of that. And then, oh, maybe even a tire drop there on the finish. Judge is going to have a lot to look at between both of these runs here.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Now Brian's here.
I was sitting there talking that whole time, and I looked down, and my Discord thing wasn't lighting up, and I'm sitting over here freaking out, trying to figure out why my voice was not coming through.
All set, man. We're just having this. The game is not feeling us tonight, man. That's what it is. But
my Discord switched to push to talk. Like,
how did it do that?
Without me doing anything. You don't want to know.
It's one of those nights, man. But hey, it's all right. As soon as they once they got to like outside 2 and you weren't saying anything, I knew it was something. So we had it covered.
Oh, there was something, all right.
But we're squared away here. Dark Knight has returned. What have you got for us?
Well, I don't have any information yet, but I just want to make sure you guys were good this time. You guys
yes,
see
ma'am.
both runs?
Oh yeah, yep. we are all set. Well, I appreciate you checking in.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
Catch y'all later.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Have a good one.
That is Miss Dark Knight. That's our cone car for the evening, keeping these drivers all straight and in line, both coming in and out of the server, and giving them the go-ahead to start their runs, and then of course actually, physically being in the cone car position here. So definitely not an easy job at all. It may look like it during the streams, that because just being a card sitting here and saying, on your mark, get set, go. That is not at all what this job entails. There's so much about, organization and making sure the logistics of this event are done properly. And the bracket that we have, that we see on the back end side of things of how we keep track of all these drivers is done by her as well. So
she's got her hands full, that's for sure.
Yeah, a lot going on there.
A bunch of drivers and such.
And of course, Biz, our info runner for tonight, bringing us all the information as well as the drivers and the judges, bouncing back and forth through all the voice channels, being basically just a messenger. Not an easy task either. Really, I'd say we've got the easy jobs. As far as running these events go, we just get to hang out,
run our mouth.
Yeah, we get to hang out, watch it, talk about it, talk about stuff that has nothing to do with the runs. We get to just chill, man. Everybody else here at S.O.G that's a part of these events there's so much going on at one time, and they stay on top of it. And like I said, going from you know, smaller drift competition events to suddenly having over 100 drivers in multiple events back to back, is they've had so much on their plate, and I feel like the way they've handled it has been pretty solid so far.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
See another question over here in our live stream chat as we await on the... Oh, never mind. Well, here we go. I'll get to that in just a second. Biz is here. What have you got for us, my friend?
Alright, so Pibbs can take the dub on that for better lead and better chase.
And there you have it. Pib going to be moving on to face Mason in round 2 of tonight's competition. Can't wait to see that run. This is a hooked up looking machine here. Sorry I didn't spend very much time looking at these cars' liveries. We were discussing other things, but these are both beautiful racing machines here.
Yes, they are.
As we come back around to the start line, you can already see the next drivers getting lined up. We talk about these events being organized and running smoothly. These guys are ready to rock here, and we have got
Slides and Kaiju Wild.
I was just saying,
Steve.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Steve. My brain, I was reading chat and looking at the bracket and watching the stream at the same time. I got a little boogered up there.
You are all good. We got Wild on the lead here. Steve on the chase. Same thing there. A little bit of a decel through that section. But we see able to get right back to the door is Steve. And then, oh, so close on the transition underneath the gas pumps there, headed back around. You see Steve all the way up wheel to wheel with Wild all the way through the finish there.
And Wild did a really good job of maximizing his time in every single one of those zones.
I'd completely agree with that. I was so focused on the chase part of that run, really, because like you said, moving around so much and having to catch back up. But yeah, that was about as great of a lead as you can ask for there.
We're gonna head down to initiation, swap positions this time. Steve in the lead, Wild in the chase. Steve with a massive initiation there. Wild able to make up that gap and get right on his tire. All the way up against that curbing, all the way up against the gas pumps, coming up under the trailers. Little contact with the boxes, but it does not denote a tire drop. Coming up under the gas pumps, that is a solid view of a very tight area. In the last 3 outside zones, I do want to say that I feel like Wild was a little bit deeper in those zones, but that was a solid lead.
I would say Steve had probably the overall smoother lead as far as just the flow of the line, but you're right, Wild was deep in every zone and maximized it all the way out. Yeah, hopefully that was a better shot of under the gas pumps there. I'm going to try to replicate that throughout the rest of the evening. That one felt pretty solid.
It looked good. It was a lot easier to see.
Yeah, definitely having to kind of duck down under the roof line after we come around here. Well, lucky for us, we've got the boxes right here in this area, but I mean, we can see from this point if there's contact with the boxes, and that gives us plenty of time to kind of just drop ourselves right on down, see what happens on underneath here, and then come right back on up in the air. Bonuses of having a drone for our camera.
Absolutely.
But we did have the question about the judges earlier on, so we're going to go back and go over this again. So we are going to have Crampini. Is that how you? It says Cramp 360 over here. Crampini.
Yeah, Crampini.
Static and Mints are going to be our judges for this evening. These cars, same as Blue and Mason earlier, getting a little inappropriate here in front of the judges. A little Steve actually has Wild's car up in the air here. That's probably not good for the front bumper.
Those tires are not touching the ground.
We get the overview of our course for this evening. I mean, these runs have been exactly what you would hope for from finals competition.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
All
Every
night
last
long.
one of these individuals has won at least one of these events, at least been on the podium in any one of our events. So every single one of these drivers has the skill set and the knowledge to be able to put down run after run after run.
For sure.
But this is one of those courses, this is an equalizer course right here where it does not matter how much talent, how well your car is set up, the slightest driver error, and you are done. You will get punished on this course.
Yep, this is the best of the best here at S.O.G. Not only with the drivers, but the line as well. Really, like you said, really punishing any small minor mistake. So you've got to, you're aiming for perfection every single run. These drivers always are, but this course doesn't allow for many mistakes, if any. And you're going to have basically 4 perfect runs to be able to become champion. Season 3.
Yo.
Biz is here.
Alright.
What's the word?
So Steve's gonna take the win on that due to better overall.
All right.
Okay.
There you have
Very
it.
much.
The Z here. Car looking clean. Kaiju on the back window coming away with the win. Moving on to round 2. Great runs from both these guys. Another couple of Kaiju machines here. Kaiju showing up for our finals here. But unfortunately, the more of your team is in the finals, that means the more they're going to have to face off in the early rounds. And have to knock each other out. But I'm sure these team drivers enjoy competing against each other. Well, our next pairing here is up and ready to rock and roll. It is going to be Captain versus Taco here.
A little bit of contact there coming around that inside touch and go.
Yeah, definitely a little go, and got off his flow there and was hit the van as well. But I'm definitely noticing a difference here after the that first run with Mason and Blue here. Noticing it through this section here is it is tough for these cars to transition back around in such a small area, and the lead cars seem to be losing some speed there on occasion. So that's definitely something to look out for here.
We're gonna re-rack them, switch positions, and send them off again. Taco in the lead this time. Very fast flick out the
Super
angle
fast
on that one. Good Lord, he's way deeper through these outside zones. Comes right around. Very, very nice transition. A little bit of a straight in there.
I saw it. Yep.
Bit of a straight in there. Coming around under the gas station here. Very solid transition, but he was way wide of where that inside clipping point is. So still really shallow. This is the shakiest of 2 runs that we've seen thus far tonight.
And it was still awesome. That's how close it's going to be tonight. But you are absolutely right. I would say, as far as the runs go, definitely the wonkiest
Both
of
drivers
runs.
left the door wide open for the other one.
Yep.
And neither driver capitalized on those mistakes.
I do think it's going to come down to the judges basically just kind of making a running tally. As they watch the run, they'll watch the lead run, they'll watch the chase run, make a running tally of the marks against each driver, and whoever comes away with the most marks against them will be the losing driver, unfortunately, because that's kind of, like you said, the other driver unable to step into that open door.
Yeah, both drivers left it wide open. Excuse me. Not only did they leave it wide open, but they also just it's really going to come down to who made the more egregious mistake, which one is deemed, if any of them are, is deemed more serious than the next, and if any of them qualify as a disqualifying mistake. That straighten realistically could have disqualified Taco's lead run there.
Yeah.
So chase for chase. If at that point we're going chase for chase, and it could be anybody's win because both of them made quite a few mistakes in the chase run as well.
Yep.
So yes, we know it's Extendo. His Discord name is Extendo. His in-game name is Taco.
I think that's what he goes by, isn't it? Extendo Taco? Isn't that his, like, the whole thing?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. The
Taco something or another. Taco Tuesday is something about his in-game name.
I just like taco because it's funny.
Yeah, I like tacos, period. Like, I made a popcorn-sized bowl of taco rice. Are you kidding me?
There you go. Of course, we got Captain right over here. Taco Tuesdays, there it is.
Go Tuesdays.
See, I'm terrible with names, but I remember my boy Taco over here. I enjoy watching his runs, definitely. So when I see Extendo over there, I've always had the thought in the back of my head, that's the giant taco, the Extendo Taco. We know that's our boy Taco. Of course, has the additional vinyls on the livery there, so we can't see it. So we end up with this mean ghost look. I've been calling them the ghost machines, and this thing definitely fits the bill. It is a mean looking ghost machine for sure.
Well, hello, Miss Mac.
Hello. I didn't want to come in and interrupt anything, but I did have to kind of let you guys know what's happening here.
10-4.
Yes.
So there was an executive decision made to overturn the call on Blue and Mason's run.
Oh.
They will be running an OMT at the end of round 1.
All right.
The thing is lead driver was also in protest to the call, not just chase driver. Lead driver openly admitted to making a mistake in his lead, huge decel checkup, in which caused Blue to straighten. So because of that, we are going to rerun. We're going to run an OMT, let them battle it out one more time at the end of round 1, as it should have been.
Definitely excited to see it, and big props to Mason there, as we said earlier, for coming in with the honesty as well and saying, hey, I don't know if I like the call either, that he made that mistake. So it's awesome for him to come out and say that, and great sportsmanship from both of those guys. And we will be, y'all heard it here, we'll be running that one again at the end of round 1, and they had a flyer of a run, so I am pretty excited to see Blue and Mason face off again. Biz is here. What's the word, my friend?
The call for this battle is that Taco's going to get the win due to Captain DQing in his lead, and he DQ'd. He dropped 2 tires on the white line either after or on initiation.
All right, well, there it is. So that is going to be Taco moving on to round 2. We'll be facing off against Steve. That'll be an interesting run there. So, all right.
Yes, it will.
Our next drivers. Oh, so that's right. So in our next run here is going to be, unfortunately, a bye run for Mr. Cedars over here in this awesome-looking Viper. Because
unfortunately able to make the call.
His driver is unfortunately able to arrive, so he will be getting a bye run to move on to round 2. And I'd say after his driving this season, I mean, there's a good chance he would have been in that position either way. Well, it's a good thing this is a buy run.
Absolutely destroy the gas pumps.
And then he disappears.
Good gracious.
So there's his buy run there, ladies and gentlemen. That was Mr. Cedars. A round of applause for
Wow.
We no longer have a
Cedars
gas
coming
station.
out, just absolutely demolishing the gas pumps.
He has destroyed everything. Good thing this is like a historical monument kind of thing with the old style. These are not functioning gas pumps.
You hope. You hope. I mean, there are some towns in America that still
run them. That's true.
So we're hoping that these are non-functioning because, good Lord, if that is the point,
we'd be the only ones still here.
Yeah, the citizens of Red Rock are absolutely pissed.
Yeah. And Cedars just like now none of them can drive anymore, and they're way out here in the middle of nowhere. Look at this, man. Where are they gonna go now?
Yeah.
Look, there's a UFO over there, man. They're stuck with the aliens now.
Yep.
How much does gas cost out here in Red Rock?
That's a really good question.
Woo! $3.63.
Wow.
It's a little bit pricier than what we're not by far, honestly. It's about 40 cents more than what we're rocking on my side of things over here, but
yeah, I'm not that much. I don't think I'm much cheaper than that here in North Carolina either.
Yeah, we ain't far behind it, unfortunately. Wouldn't that be funny as hell if they had the game update based off like the national average or something like that?
Oh Lord!
What an unnecessary amount of code that would be.
Yeah, extremely unnecessary. Next up, we have Miss Kooky versus Kaiju Chevy.
Kooky and Chevy here. It says Rose there on the door. So I like
Yes.
that name. So we'll go with Rose here.
Hello, Rose.
Rose on the lead here, ready to launch off here against Chevy. Hella initiation there from Rose. They dive in, get a great, maybe a tire drop there on outside 3 as they keep cooking around this initial circle that these drivers make coming around under. Chase car grabbing a hold of the front of that van. That's going to lose him a lot of ground, but he's able to make it back up here as they head under through the gas station back around. Rose doing a great job on the lead run here, and Chevy, after making contact with that van, able to catch back up and get to the door by the end of that one.
That right there, as far as chase runs, I'm really curious considering the fact that hitting that van the way he did, Chevy changed his trajectory around the course, which could possibly be a disqualification on that chase run.
Interesting.
But we're going to come down and see. Wow, big initiation from Chevy and Rose. A little shallow on the second outside zone, but 2 and 4 is a little shallow too. Going to transition under the gas pumps. Coming around, he hits the van again. But this time able to hold his trajectory. We're going to come around and transition. A little contact between the drivers there. Getting around this last outer zone. Still really shallow compared to Rose on her run. So I'm curious to see how the judges are going to score this. But if I had to make an opinion and an educated guess, I would have to say Rose would take the W on this one for just an overall cleaner run.
I agree with that as well.
That's if nothing was a disqualifying factor, of course. Slating everything as an even playing field between both drivers, no disqualifications, anything like that. I would have to say Rose would win this one just based off of a much, much cleaner set of runs.
Switch over to our footage here flying around beautiful Red Rock. I'm going to make a little bit of a change on my end of things. We'll see if we can have a little bit of improvement on our sight lines for these runs. I had a thought as we were watching that last run between these two, so I'll do that real quick, and then when we come back, we'll take a look at the liveries on these machines.
Fantastic. I'm going to run to the concession stand.
Hey, that sounds like a good plan. All right, this should be a little bit oh yeah, a little bit better looking setup here. As we come back to our main view here. See Rose's machine here. Definitely digging this livery style. And check out the heart-shaped exhaust here, or I guess turbo blow off maybe on the hood here. Awesome setup there, because like from right here, man, it is tough to tell that that's not actually part of the model of the vehicle. Check that out. Great work there. Of course, when you get in close, you start to see the details of how it was made, but awesome design there. See the rest of this Lexus here looking super clean. RX-8 over here for Chevy. Great looking right here. Looks like the line was pretty short for the concession stand there.
Yes, it was. It was. I mean, we are out in the middle of freaking nowhere, so you don't expect a whole lot of people out here.
Due to the power of me being God, just kidding. Because we're in a video game, I was able to turn the sun. Nice. I have moved the sun with my ever-ending power, and we are now able to. It has opened up this area here to be a lot brighter here, and then also heading around by the van over here and underneath the trailer. This section here as well has brightened up quite a bit. So we have changed where our shadow points and everything are, so it's definitely going to improve visibility throughout this run.
Is a lot brighter.
Definitely better looking here. See it shining off of these cars over here too. Awesome looking rides all around. As we await for word from the judges. Miss Cookie over here. Rose in that Lexus machine versus Chevy. An RX-8, you don't see a lot of those around. It's a good looking ride. How do you feel, Brian, about those little the little third door, the little back door, like the on the most recently on the Hyundai Veloster?
Worthless.
What's that?
I feel like I feel like they're worthless.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Why? It seems like they were put in as an afterthought.
Because I mean, you kind of still have to move the passenger seat up a little bit to really get in anyway, so why not just go the coupe route?
You can't fit a full-grown adult in the back seat of an RX-8 or a Veloster. I tried. They were legit, like, coupes that they decided to put an extra on the Veloster, just one door, because there's not one on the driver's side.
Yeah, that gets on my nerves too. Yeah, on the RX-8 at least it's on both sides, right?
It's on both sides of the RX-8, but there's still like teeny tiny little like child doors, like doggy doors.
Yeah, I don't know.
The doggy doors of the car world.
Yeah, I don't know what the and on like a big old pickup truck, the way that they do it, that can, sometimes it is a little helpful. Especially with the more upright seating arrangement, but in the almost sports car type style, it's I agree. They're very weird.
Yeah, no, and don't get me wrong, like the Hyundai Veloster, like I've driven one when I was a salesman at a dealership. We had one that came in that was a little hopped up, not exactly standard, but it was a Veloster turbo. It was a blast to drive. So I will not take it away from that. Like, they are a blast to drive, but design-wise, absolutely fucking terrible.
I drove
The interior design of that car is just booty.
Yeah, they're a little wonky. I definitely I drove a Tiburon for a long time. That was my first car. Lucky enough for me, I was able to get one pretty cheap. Or my parents, I guess you could say, were able to get one pretty cheap when I was after graduating high school and everything like that. And we came across a good deal, and you know, they're not a powerful car, obviously by any means, but you know, to have like the 2-door sports car look and be 18 years old, I was quite a happy camper there. And it just so happened I also worked at a Hyundai dealership at that time too, so kind of free maintenance. So I did most of it myself anyway, but like I had the guys there, like we had the tools and everything, so it was a great setup for a first car. I was very lucky. So I was excited when they announced the Veloster because they didn't give a teaser on what it was. They just said that Hyundai was coming out with another like a 2-door style. Because realistically, what a Tiburon was a 2-door body dropped on an Elantra frame. That's
pretty much
what the car was. So I was excited that they basically announced that they were doing that again, is that they were using the newer model design of the Elantra and coming out with like a 2-door sports car frame for it. And I was like, oh, yes, new Tiburon. All right. Like I was excited, for a new Tiburon. Not that because at that point I had my BRZ, so I'm a happy camper. I ain't going nowhere. But like I was excited for the idea. Yeah. And then the Veloster is what we got. And I was just like,
yeah.
Are you like really? Like on the heels of a Tiburon, to have that design was just like. Now, of course, they have the Genesis Coupe as well, because Hyundai is trying to push Genesis as like their luxury car brand, and they're doing a horrible job of that. But
yo,
hey, Speedy, what's going on?
So Cookie's gonna take the lead. Cookie's gonna take the lead with the better lead and better chase.
All right,
takes the win with a better lead, better chase.
He take the win, God.
That's the word. That's what we're looking for.
All good, Speedy. We got you, brother. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks, bud. All right, well, there you have it. Miss Cookie over here. Rose coming away with the win. Moving on to the next round. We'll be facing off against Cedars, and as long as he doesn't destroy the entire town again, that is going to be a banger of a run for sure. As long as Cedars doesn't kill us all, we're going to be great here.
Can you imagine if that was a physic in the game?
Right. All right, up next, we are going to be rocking Musha against PWX here. P-Dub on the chase, Musha on the lead, coming out like a rocket ship here, flying around this course with P-Dub diving in right on the door. Side by side here, filling these outside zones out, coming on this inside clip, and now as we're able to see through this section, super close on the transition there is P-Dub. These guys squeak under that trailer as they come around. No tire drops yet that I've seen. As we dive under, filling out the inside zone under the gas station there. Good grief, what a run from these two right here. One of the closest proximity chases we've seen all night, but that lead from Musha was unreal.
That was intense.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. That
was intense. That initiation by Musha was just ungodly fast. But here we go. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, coming down for round number 2. Again with the super fast initiation. PW able to get a little bit more of a gap there than Musha was right off rip, but Musha able to close it in, coming right around that gas pump under the trailers. They are glued to each other's doors. PW looking like he's getting a little bit more room to work with than he gave Musha, but filling out the zones all the way to the edge of the line nonetheless. Both drivers right on top of each other. If there ever was a call for a one more time, that was it right there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
One of those two guys gave an inch.
I could watch that all night. That was wild. Awesome stuff from these two. And speaking of wild, we're going to have to, the first thing right off the bat, we got to talk about this right here.
The Gogeta.
Look at this, man. How cool is that?
I hate how good that looks.
Right? Doesn't it make you mad? I always say that's a joke in my house is, God, I hate talented people.
Makes me sick to my stomach that looks that good.
I'm telling you. That is one of our favorite sayings here. And this is proof of it 100%. Is man, that is so awesome. It looks so good. On the classic Advan livery here. It's like you've got this right, like looking from right here, you're like, oh, seen that car a million times, not a big deal. And then you get right here and you're like, hey, wait a minute. Like, wait a minute.
Pull a R. Lee Army. Pull a R. Lee Army.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, man.
And then, of course...
Rest in peace to him, man. That's still one of my favorite... That movie is intense, but oh, man, such a great job in how they portrayed that entire first... Because it's really... It's one of those movies, it's like two movies in one. And the first part...
You remember that TV show he had called Mail Call?
Oh, Mail Call was awesome. Me and my dad, man, that's some memories right there. Me and my dad used to watch Mail Call. Oh, yeah. Yep, Mail Call was absolutely awesome, and I will say, since we're on the subject, so much as we're here to talk about drifting, if I'm not a huge movie person in general, and also not big on war movies. I get very emotionally invested into media. So I can't watch a Pixar movie without crying at some point. Like, I just get real wrapped up into anything. So I'm the same way. Like, I'm really into music, and I don't watch a lot of movies, partially because I'm a video game guy in general, but it's just not really my thing. But if you haven't seen the movie Full Metal Jacket, I do highly recommend it, but I will say it is very intense in a different way than any war movie you've ever seen, because to me the most intense portion of that movie is every other war movie has this big epic battle scene, and it's always like the pivotal point in a war, the turning point, and there's thousands of things going on and everything like that. And the hardcore point that Full Metal Jacket drove across to me was that this was just a Tuesday. That the entirety of that movie, or at least once they get to the war portion of the movie, is all of the horrible atrocities and everything that happens. It's the horrors of war, but it's not a crazy battle. It's just another day. And that part hit me so hard at the end of the movie when they were just marching along, going, because they're just heading to the next where they were supposed to go, just with a lot less people than what they had in the first place. And it's just so that hit me so hard, man. So I definitely highly recommend that movie 100%. Definitely not for your kids though. Don't let your don't let the youngins watch that one. That's a
No, never ever let your kids watch that movie until they are at least 16 years old.
Yeah. I think the first time I watched it I was like 14 or 15, and I lucky for me I wasn't able to grasp the it was just the first part of the movie was really funny, and then the second part was just like Call of Duty to me. I didn't think anything of it. It really didn't hit me until I watched it years later, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, it is an extremely intense movie,
but definitely worth the watch.
And not intense in the gore and
no, not at all. Yeah, not at all.
Action scene. No, it's intense in the mental.
Yeah, it's a definitely an emotional way of putting it together. Very intense is the great word for it. But anyway, speaking of intense, back to what we're supposed to be on here. We're both real serious about Full Metal Jacket, people. Y'all don't understand.
What's up, Speedy?
Well, hey, Speedy's here. Perfect timing. Can't beat it.
Yo, what up?
What you got?
Musha's gonna take the dub due to better shots.
All right, there you go. It was that close. It came down to it, but Musha coming away. Godzilla coming away with the win here. But great runs from both these drivers, y'all. We've talked about it before on stream. P-Dub, that's one of my boys over here. Runs our slide style events on my side of things as well, and is always a top finishing driver for those events. So much love to him as well. But unfortunately, not moving on to round 2. Musha is going to be moving on to the next round, and here we are to fill out the final spot of round 2. Of course, we're going to have that one more time with Blue and Mason after this run, but we have got Ion and Scrim here. Scrim and the Viper on the chase. Ion launching off with this almost Tron style livery here. Kind of digging that. As they rip into outsides 1, 2, 3, and 4. Looking good here. Close on the inside zone here. The transition is good. Let's make their way around. Got a little gap there on the chase here. See if he can make that space back up as they head under the gas station here. Is able to get right back to the door, lined up wheel to wheel as they come across the finish line. Little contact there right at the line.
There might, maybe right before that finish line, I'm going to have to watch that replay again, but I think there might have been
for
a
the
tire.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
I'm watching it back now. I'm going to zoom in as well just to see.
On the flip side of things. You're good, man.
Coming around, that was a massive initiation. Oh, a little contact with the guardrail there. Coming around through outer 3 and 4. Nice on that inside zone. Nice transition. Coming up under
the van and the truck.
Big straighten.
Oh, in the box for the lead car. I was trying to get
by the lead car. So that is a tire drop for the lead car. That is a big disqualification for your chase driver.
Yep.
Man, this went all awry for these two drivers here, man.
Yeah, I was trying to get prepared to come underneath the gas station, and just off the edge of the screen, I was able to see this the box here get kicked over to the side. So that's a tire drop. But
that was a tire drop on the first run as well by the lead driver right before the finish line.
Yes.
If I saw that correctly, his tire did go over the sidewalk.
And then a contact here with this van led to a pinball effect, bounced off the van and pushed the car back into the trailer, the frame of the trailer here. So lots going on with that run the judges are going to be looking at for sure. Powder over there on the stream chat, what is going on? Says he's always watching. Powder is always watching. You can't get away from our man.
Yeah, he is. You can't go anywhere in the CarX community while you're streaming and not have Powder show up.
He'll show up on you.
It is impossible.
Ion's got an awesome looking machine here. Always dug that like neon blue look on the black. It's like you can't pick a color that stands out more other than just a flat white, but I'm telling you, man, it is awesome
Tiffany
look
blue,
there.
Man, that is like that Tiffany blue color, and it is amazing on that car.
And then the forest green over here on the Viper.
Just clean green, man.
Yep. I'm a loose. I'm a loose.
I'm a loose. Not lose. Loose.
I bet y'all weren't expecting to get some movie reviews when you came across the drift stream tonight. But you never know what you're gonna get.
We'll say it again. Always expect the unexpected when it comes to Alex and Brian in the booth.
You ain't lying about that, man. We're discovering more and more as we do these events, because we don't get to, with our varying schedules and our own hobbies and things that we have, we don't really get to hang out during the week or anything. So it's just when we do these S.O.G events, and we find out more and more how much we have in common. It's kind of ridiculous.
It's kind of scary.
So we're both apparently like huge connoisseurs of Full Metal Jacket. We just discovered that.
I'm just a huge Arlie Army fan.
I love him so much. He fits that. He just is that guy. Like, he fits that role so well. I always wish, like, he would have never done it, but I always wish they would have used him. You know how, like, Oprah, way back when, they used to do, like, the scared straight thing, and they did it on, like, Maury and Dr. Phil and stuff, too, where, like, they had these kids that were acting up, so they got, like, a drill sergeant to come, like, show them how tough life would be if they were in the military or whatever. Sometimes they get criminals
they would have gotten
that,
him
like,
for that role
were in prison, but oh my god, like, he wouldn't have done it, because I think he's actually way too kind. Like, I don't think he could yell at kids, because he's, like, way too sweet of a guy. But, like,
he's a
oh
really
my god,
nice guy.
Can you imagine him doing that, though?
Yeah.
You little maggot, you mean to tell me you think you can? Oh man, he would just go off and it would be so, you're a little, like a little worm. I see you over here bad talking your mama. You can't talk to your mama like that. Oh man, he would go all in on it. Oh boy. Yeah, this is going to be, like we said, there was a lot of pinball action going on in this run, bouncing off the outer edges of the course and the different obstacles around the track.
Yeah, it's just who made the most or the more serious mistakes is what it's going to come down to. And realistically, I do believe that Ion had the more serious mistake by bouncing not only off the van, but contacting the trailers as well and straightening out in his chase, which would cause a DQ. And I don't think I saw Scrim disqualify on either one of his runs.
I don't believe so either.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I do not believe I saw a disqualification by Scrim. No, because it's still on the driver's side door.
Nope.
We're not.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
We're not doing that.
Nope. Just stick to it here.
Oh yeah, no. That's why I said like we're just.
Anyway,
not even gonna. Yeah. Yeah. Easy.
Majestic says. Majestic says they've got the Beyond Scared Straight they made it a show. So the kids actually, like, they take the kids to jail and, like, have them live that lifestyle for a short period of time. Which, I don't know, man. I feel like kids that are acting up, because there's a line there where, like, the kids that are just acting a fool, but it's because their parents aren't necessarily, and we don't need to have a philosophy discussion, but, like, if if their parents aren't doing a great job, they just need to make sure that they're on top of the kids more than the kids know what they're supposed to be. But then you have those kids that are, like, you know, in a gang, and, like, they're out, like, already selling drugs, and they've got, like, you know, whatever is going on. They're out getting in fights and all that kind of stuff. I feel like they already know, like, the deal, you know what I mean? So I don't feel like sending them to a jail is going to, like, suddenly wake them up. I feel like they're already of that mindset where, like, I don't care, I'll go to jail. So, like, it's not going to, like, I don't feel like the show doesn't really do anything. Like, I feel like that's more there for the drama for the viewers more than it is actually trying to, like, help get kids on the right path. You know what I'm saying? That's just me, you know. They say it's on YouTube too. Okay, I'll go look and see what it's all about, because maybe they are trying to actually be helpful, because that's what it should be all about, especially involving kids, like, you know, teenagers and stuff like that. If you can get to them before they make that one mistake that's going to get their life on the wrong track, it's always a good thing. And that's always one of the, to actually transition into something relative to what we're doing here, that's always one thing that I have been a huge proponent of video games and esports and everything in general. That has always been a big thing for me, is that, you know, when we were younger, at least my generation, when we were younger, your parents would, oh, y'all on them video games or whatever, get outside and go do something or whatever. And I've always thought that, I mean, not only I've met some of the best people in my life I've met through video games, and been involved in some of the most supportive communities, but also it's just such an uplifting and positive world to be in. And exactly, it's an escape. It's a great way, you know. Speedy, what you got?
Hey, Speedy. Hey, okay. So, Scrim's gonna take the dub due to Ion straighten out and causing the van and trailer to reset.
All right, well, there you go. And it did come down to exactly what y'all talked about. Who made the greater mistake? And that greater mistake did come down to Ion, so it is gonna be Scrim. Moving on to face Musha in round 2.
He's got his work cut out for him going up against Musha, though. Jeez,
absolutely.
Louise.
And a quick update for everybody that may just be joining us here. That was round 8 of our 16 drivers. So that was the final round. However, we did have a change in the judge's decision after more discussion. And this is our first pairing of the evening. This is Blue and Mason. They are going to be having a one more time as they get ready to do their run here. So we're going to have Blue on the lead, Mason on the chase. And this is going to be the final run of our round of 16 to decide who is going to be moving on to the final 8 as we get closer and closer to wrapping up our championship this evening. Filling out these zones all the way is Blue here and carrying a ton of speed doing it. Making a great transition here, but Mason right on the door as they come under the trailer there. Did tag those boxes on the inside, but that is an outside zone, not an inside zone. Oh, a little contact there, and it spins Mason around.
Long as Blue can finish out his run and not disqualify himself.
Which it appears he does. If you could watch that one back again for me, since you have access to the replay there, Brian,
yes.
Let me know if that was caused by Blue somehow. I don't think it was watching it live.
Here we go. They're coming up to it. Nope. Timed the transition wrong. All right, Musha in the lead, Blue in the chase. Musha initiates pretty hard, misses outer 1 by a pretty large margin, as well as outer 4. Cuts a whole lot of speed. Blue yet again has to kind of dial back on his entry into that last zone, but he does not straighten this time. Coming up under the gas pumps, going out to the last 3 outer zones. Blue is just glued to Mason's door. Very, very nice run
Great
by
stuff
Blue
there.
Mason able to hold it together for his lead run. Unfortunate there, but I think I know how this one's gonna come down.
Monster truck action here in front of the judges. Now, we were talking about inappropriate earlier. Now, this is, I don't even know if we can show this on YouTube without getting banned. Look at this very inappropriate action happening here. Like we said, these guys are all, these guys are friends, man. They're having a good time. Having a good time in the server here. But yeah, to finish that thought we were talking about earlier, man, I've always thought that gaming in general, and especially esports when it comes to the communities that really develop around it, I think is a major benefit.
I think I said Musha, or you said Musha, one of the two. One of us said Musha during some part of that whole transition. That was Mason, not Musha.
That was quite possibly me.
If I did it, I apologize. If Alex did it, he apologizes.
Yep.
We both are kind of just trying to go along with this as quickly as we can. These boys are flying around this gas station.
We're just there. All these names, and we got a whole bunch of names on our screen, cars on our screen, chat on our screen. There's so much. It's a tough job. Maybe our jobs aren't as easy as we thought. Oh, man.
Hey, Speedy, what's up?
Yo.
What you got for us?
So, Blue's gonna take the dub due to Mason being an arsonist and blowing up the gas station.
That's our second driver of the night. We just got the place rebuilt. We just rebuilt the place, and now it's blown up again. Unfortunate. So they did go back and look and see that it was not any cause of the lead car there. It was just unfortunate on Mason's part. The transition timing got him into the gas station, spun him around, blew us all up, and of course Blue comes out of the flames like a phoenix and comes away with the win. But great stuff there, and he will head back to the line, but because that was the first pairing of the evening, that will push him forward to face off against Pib for our first pairing of round 2. So a quick recap before these guys start their run. We're going to have Blue versus Pib, Steve versus Taco, Cedars versus Rose, and Musha versus Scrim. So we have got some awesome pairs lined up for you guys, but we are going to have Blue on the lead here, Pib on the chase, and these guys have had many a run versus each other over this season. Can't wait to see how this works out as they work their way through all of the outside zones on the first loop around. Little bit of contact, super close on the transition there. And you can see Pib is staying right close on the door all the way through. A little tire drop there as they hit the box. Going around to outside. And then we head into the final loop here in front of the judges filling those zones out. Maybe it's going to be so close on the tire drops there too, as these cars were so deep in those zones, they were directly on the white lines all the way through there.
Yeah, that was a solid run there. And Demented, I said Musha, so I apologize. That was my fault. We're gonna re-rack it here. We've got my brain stopped working. So we're gonna run
Pib on the lead
positions here. Pib was on the lead. Blue is in the chase. Little contact with the rail there by Pib, but able to fill out these zones very, very nicely. Coming out here to transition around the gas pumps, going under the trailers. Little contact with the van, but nothing to alter the trajectory. Both the drivers able to staying right with each other. This is a solid run, and
Seriously.
I am losing my ability to form words here. Good gracious.
That was an awesome run there from these two.
A heater battle.
Not only have we destroyed the town's gas station twice so far this evening, one thing I'm telling you, man, whoever owns this van right here is going to be real mad when they get off work and come to drive this thing home. It has been hit at least 12 times so far tonight.
Yeah, no kidding.
His front bumper is just going to be missing.
Martini, my brain just... Look, I have been homesick with the vid for the last 5 days. My brain just doesn't function as it should right now. So you will have to forgive me.
And hey, he is kind of making light of it, but that is definitely a thing, man. I felt like I was in a cloud for about 2 weeks after I had it. I couldn't think right, you know? I could there were things that I knew, and I'm sitting there looking at it like I know what this is, and my brain just can't put it together. Very irritating. Now, unfortunately, some people have that stay. I can't even imagine. I was very lucky that mine pretty quickly went away. So, Brian, hopefully that will move on along for you. You don't want to hold on to that.
I hope the fog goes away quickly because I'm about sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Right? It gets so old after a while.
Not slept this much in probably a month or two. All I've done is sleep this week, and I'm over it. I hate it.
And it's weird because you're getting all that sleep,
to get back to.
But you still feel tired.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's the worst part of it. I hate waking up from a long sleep and still being tired. So when you do it and you're sick, oh my God, it's just like it's the worst. But that's another benefit. Hey, we can keep talking about the benefits.
Good gracious.
Oof, you all right?
There's that cough. Yeah. My lungs are not happy with this whole being sick thing.
Hey, if you need to take a break, man, it's no worries for me.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I'm good sitting down, just sitting here talking, but the minute I stand up to go do something, dude, I'm out of breath in like 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got you.
My lungs are wrecked.
Talking about the video game world and everything like that, and me feeling like it's a great positive for a lot of people in their lives, especially the young generation. These guys are now monster trucking over each other.
They are seriously playing Demolition Derby.
But that's another big part of it too, as well, is like even when you're sick, you know, and you're stuck in bed and you can't do anything, you're able to transport to another world. And to be able to, you know, is where we can't necessarily, a lot of us can't afford drifting in real life. And to be able to jump into a high-performance drift car and run an event like this, and, I mean, even if you're sick, you might not be at 100%, but you're still able to do things like this and have fun with your friends when you can. So,
yeah,
always
it's been a nice escape for this week of being able to just, like, wake up from sleeping all day and pop on the PC here and run a couple of laps and then go back to sleep.
Oh, yeah. Well, and as we always talk about, too, I mean, the Team S.O.G. in general, you see the links at the bottom of your screen. Savage Outlawz Gaming on Discord. That's where you're going to want to go. And you can join in and hang out with these guys. Maybe if you wanted to, even apply to be a team member if you are a drifting connoisseur if you're enjoying the art of drifting a vehicle. But if you just want a great group of people to hang out and game with, take it from me, S.O.G is the place to be. Such a great group from top to bottom. You see it week to week with our competition events here as you're watching along with us, and all the different personalities you get to meet and hear. But there's so many more behind the scenes people that are part of the team that are so awesome. And from me doing my streams as well, and my community that I have going on over there, so many of the S.O.G people will pop in and come hang out, and a lot of people from my stream have actually made their way over to the S.O.G Discord as well and have started hanging out with those guys. So it's definitely a great group of people. And if you've been out there looking around for somewhere, a community that you feel you'd feel included and enjoy hanging out with people, S.O.G is definitely somewhere to check it out.
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, but it spans far beyond just CarX.
Oh, absolutely. CarX is a major part of it for sure, but definitely not the end of it. We have
guys, and we've got guys on the team now that don't, like, they're on our main server as far as, like, they don't even really touch CarX anymore.
Yep.
They're on the S.O.G, like, the gaming side of it, but they are not on the DC and the CarX side of things. So we've got this ginormous community, really. Like, it is a huge community of individuals that just like video games.
Hey, you know
really,
me, man.
I mean, it's just...
You know I'm always cooking on something. There's some Counter-Strike stuff in the works on my side of things.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna need to see some S.O.G representation in the server over there, man. A little S.O.G Counter-Strike team going. I'll have to see what's up with that here.
When it comes to, like, your tacta shooters and stuff like that, tactical first-person shooters.
Oh yeah.
Sandstorm Insurgency is my jam.
Okay. Everybody's got their one game when it comes to that, because like Counter-Strike's been mine since like CS 1.6 way back, so I've been loyal. But that's been my game from way since I was like young, so I kind of stick to that. But I mean, everybody seems to have the one. You know, a lot of people do like Rainbow Six. That Siege is a lot of people's game as far as that goes. But yeah, so Insurgency is yours.
Yes, Insurgency is my jam when it comes to, like, first-person shooter games and such. Not only is it a lot easier hardware-wise to run, but, like, it's a lot more difficult to get good at.
Maybe you would like Counter-Strike, man. You've described it perfectly.
And then on top of that, like, the crazy thing with, like, because it does have a PvP element, but there's a lot of PvE, like player versus environment.
Yeah.
Where, like, if say you're the security forces, you're going and getting these points and such like that, but dude, you get overrun by suicide bombers.
Oh, so there's actually like NPCs and stuff in that game.
Yes, it is terrifying.
Oh, okay. Oh, I might have to check that out.
All of a sudden, you hear somebody yelling, and then boom, you're dead. Like, it's terrifying.
Okay. I didn't know they had that. I just thought that was like another PvP game. So I just kind of have never messed with it because Counter-Strike has always been mine. So I just stick with that. But okay, that sounds fun. Shatterline is another. I don't know if you've played Shatterline
I have
yet.
Played a little bit of Shadowline.
I dig that as well. That one's fun. And I'm not big on hero shooters at all. Like, that's definitely not my thing, but that game is fun.
And see, Battlefield was always my game when it came to shooters.
Oh, Battlefield used to be fun too.
2042 killed it for me with the whole specialist thing.
Yeah. No, it's because they're trying. I'm assuming they're just trying to be a hero shooter again, right?
They were trying to kind of follow the whole Call of Duty thing with as you would call it, a hero shooter, where the class system worked better.
Yeah. Or with like Overwatch, for example, is like the basic hero shooter. Now one game we do play on our stream over there that we have fun with is Paladins. because that's like, it's a free-to-play, it's similar to Overwatch, but it actually even goes deeper as far as the characters go, is because you have a card perk system similar to like League of Legends, which I don't like games like League of Legends or Dota. Or like it's because I don't even know what to do. There's so much happening at one time. Those games are insane, and like the pro players that do that, they keep track of all that stuff. Like StarCraft, it's just so much happening at one time. I can't even wrap my brain around it. But Paladins kind of takes that card system of where you can build a loadout for your particular person, like working towards their strengths and weaknesses, and then like apply that in game to, you know, try to maybe counter what the other team is doing or whatever. And it's definitely very, very fun. But it being free to play and cross platform and all that, it's definitely fun for us over there on our stream because so many of our friends are able to jump in and play with us. But Insurgency is I'm gonna have to check in on that. That sounds kind of fun.
There's all kinds of mods for it and everything that are built into that game. Like, it is a very, like, at the base level, it's an extremely fun game. When you start adding in like the mods and the extra weapons that the mods add, all this other extra mess, it is so fun.
Nice. You know what we'll still crack open on stream every so often that everybody that's kind of fallen off the wayside?
What's that?
Left 4 Dead.
Oh my god.
Dude, we have so much fun over there. You talk about mods, that's what made me think about it, is there's so many mods that just like replace the models and sound effects like of the zombies. So like we have friends that have like Charlie, for example, my Charlie that is here with me. She's got the tank, you know, the big giant dude that comes at you and throws stuff at you and whatever. It's Terry Crews, and he throws Old Spice at you. And it's got like the whole like the sound effects and everything, man. It's the whole deal. But they have all different video game characters, anime characters, characters from other games. There's just so much stuff going on, but it's so funny.
Back 4 Blood is a good one. As far as like continuing the game goes, Back 4 Blood did a really good job.
Yeah, I will definitely. I haven't checked that one out yet because it's a little bit still on the pricey side of things a little bit, but
yeah,
haven't gotten to check that one out.
I don't have it on my PC.
Well, it's just so much.
PlayStation went kaboom.
Yeah, well, the other thing too is like with Left 4 Dead, we try to play a lot of cross-platform games. There's Speedy. What's up, buddy?
So it's gonna be OT.
All right. Wow. Came down to it. Judges looked over every bit of the runs, and these guys are going to go again. Pib and Blue facing off one more time, and we wouldn't have it any other way. These guys get that information themselves and head back to the starting line. And here we have it. So it's going to be Blue on the lead, Pib on the chase one more time. First pairing of round 2. They are going to cap this one off, and we're going to find out who is moving on to the semifinals here as Blue launches in. Oh, big contact with the outside there. Straightens his car out. He's able to get it back, but that sets him up for a tire drop there off his flow a little bit. Going to be able to get it back here on the transition as they dive under the trailers. Make their way around here. A little bit of contact on the transition didn't seem to affect the cars any, and Pib all the way up to the front bumper of Blue here as they come around. Another tire drop there on the outside from Blue. You can see Blue is pushing hard all the way through that run, and Pib did not let up off of him for 1 second. On the flip side here, we got Pib on the lead, Blue on the chase here, staying right on the door as they cross the inside zone here, making the transition again as they come around. Ooh, a little on the inside there. Doesn't look like he touched the trailer, though, on the way around. Does get all of those boxes. Boxes all the way around. And then, ooh, Little contact headed into the gas station, but it looks like Pib was able to hold on to it. And I'm telling you, Blue is just grinding himself grinding himself up and down the door panel here of Pib's ride. What runs those were. Brian, did it switch you back to push to talk mode again, buddy?
Yeah, it did. I'm actually holding the button to talk right now. I don't understand. Hold on. Give me 1 second, buddy.
That could be part of the permissions and stuff as well for this VC.
Something's going on. I think I got it. Again.
There we go. All
Yeah,
right,
like
we got it
works.
set up.
It works fine for a little while, and then all of a sudden it's like it switches me back to push to talk. It's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Man, I tell you, Blue is definitely having. You can tell he's having fun this evening, and I think after he got the word on the one more time, he said, "You know what? We are just going to absolutely full send this thing." And I mean, he just ripped around that course. He wasn't worried about the zones or anything. He was just tearing through there, having fun. And I tell you one thing, man, Pib stuck right with it. He didn't let up off of him for 1 second. And then on the flip side, when Pib was on the lead there, and he had Blue just like literally grinding back and forth on the door right here. I mean, he didn't lose his cool for not 1 second.
No, not at all. He didn't crack under the pressure. He did really good. It's really funny watching these matches like that one go down, because can you imagine if the game actually had the physics where it would show the scrapes, what these cars would look like?
Oh, man. I've always hoped that they would add that in the future. Kind of the way that, not like a full damage like Grand Theft Auto or Wreckfest or anything like that, but I always wished that this game had, like what Forza has. Like for the newest Forza, the one that I've been playing, the Forza Horizon 5. Where it has like visual damage on the outside of the car, but it's literally just applying it like to the skin, the texture of the outside. It doesn't actually change anything on the model of the car. But I always wish we had something like that, so that we could see the scrapes on the doors and dents and everything like that. I always thought that would be cool. It would also be pretty cool because obviously the game has the ability to remove the bumpers, because we can do that, you know. And how cool would it be if on a large enough impact to the front or rear of the car, the bumpers came
I would like to see that. I would like to see that, or at least on like the PC side, I would just like to see a mod where we can have the bumper fly off, or at least like hang off and fly off during the drift or something from an impact.
Musha says Beam NG. I'm telling you, man. One thing that I have picked up on from that is those, I think we talked about it a few streams ago, is those guys that run monster trucks on there. That is the perfect game for monster truck racing, man.
Yeah.
And the mods and stuff that people have put together for that are so cool.
I have tried drifting in BeamNG on a controller. No freaking thank you.
I've tried drifting in like every racing game other than CarX, and I can't do it. The only one I could ever do was Grid back in the day. I don't know if y'all remember that. And of course, Need for Speed Underground, but like actually trying to properly drift. No, but actually trying to properly drift. The Grid, the original Grid on PS3 was fun, and then. But yeah, CarX is really the only other one. Tried a little bit of it in Forza. They have the cars in there for it, but it just doesn't something about it. It's just more control. You're just power sliding all the time. It's not. You're not actually like able to really drift the car, if that makes sense.
I've got to get the controller scripts for Assetto Corsa and try my hands at Assetto.
Yeah, I know that's a big thing with the online drifting community as well. I just the hang up for me on it, because I have Assetto Corsa. I've actually had it for quite a long time. And the hang up for me is just having to get all the right mods installed and everything like that, and there's a lot that goes into it. Not that I can't do it. Obviously, it doesn't bother me modding a game, but when it comes to...
It's a lot of effort.
Well, there's a lot of effort that goes into it, but on my side of things is... when you're living that full-time streamer lifestyle or whatever, is you don't play games when you're not on stream. I've discovered, or maybe some people do, but I can't find the time for it. So if I'm gaming, I'm streaming, and that also means, because of the way that I like to stream, I like to play with the people, you know, with the chat and everything like that, the people that are watching along and hanging out. I like to play games with people, so that really keeps me away from games that require a lot of modding and even games that are like PC exclusive. So I try to play with as many people as I can as often as possible. So it kind of has knocked Assetto Corsa off the books for me, as much as I'd like to try it.
I mean, I get that. When I was doing the whole Twitch stream thing, I still played after, like, when I wasn't streaming, and that would be the time that I played something where it was more like PC based or something like that. So if I was streaming, sure, I'd be doing the cross platform and the one where everybody can play with you and such.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
on my own time, absolutely, yeah, I'm going to play something by myself that I really want to play, and Assetto being one of those things that I really want to try. I'm going to do whatever it takes to allow myself that opportunity to play that game that I really want to try.
Yeah, definitely, for sure on that. Well, and I would definitely have a lot more time, but I'm always so, especially with, you know, with the slide style events, obviously there's a lot that goes into that, but we have some, a couple of different games that we do with all the similar style, like the custom overlays, and it's like an event, but it's way less, you know, intense than that. But we have like this wrestling game called Wrestling Empire that we do that's like, it's that old like N64 kind of style graphics. But we make wrestlers, like pro wrestlers, for like a bunch of the people in our community, and then of course we have the whole storylines and everything that going into it, and so that I kind of work on stuff like that throughout the week. So there's a lot going on that keeps me away from playing the games. That, and I stream 8-9 hours a night, so I'm kind of video gamed out by the time I'm done.
All right, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
it really does.
There's a lot going on. I wish, man, I'm telling you, and there's a lot of games that I have that I love that I don't get to play anymore, and sometimes, because obviously I wouldn't trade what, you know, I'm very lucky that I get to do what I do, and it's allowed me to have the opportunity to do stuff like this as well. So like, I would never trade it for the world, but sometimes it is a little disappointing that I see my Steam library and there's so many games that I just kind of don't really get the chance to play anymore. Well, we always have little side discussions and things like that while we're waiting on the judges here. Maybe we can involve the chat in one of them here. Speaking of that, games that I don't get to play or anything anymore. So let me ask you this, Brian, and I also put this question to everybody in the chat as well. All time, every genre, everything. If you could stamp one game, maybe all the way back from your childhood all the way to now, if you could stamp one game and say it is your favorite game, not the best game, not the, you know, the greatest game of all time, not saying that, your personal, what is your favorite game? So Brian, what have you got? Let me hear it. I know that's a tough question.
Favorite game of all time, Battlefield 4.
Battlefield, just straight up, you already knew it. Battlefield 4, my man already knew. Mine is Prey from the 2017 one. That is my... I remember I got through probably like the first two... I mean, they're not really levels, in, you know, as the game is, but like the first two sections of that game or whatever, and I knew then. I was in the middle of playing it like, this is the greatest thing I've ever done. I was like, I never want this to stop ever. But yeah, that was definitely... Definitely mine, and there has been a few games that have come close over time, but none have topped that. So I'll be awaiting what everybody in the chat has to say. I'm interested to see, because I know there's always a unique answer that comes up when you ask that question, and somebody, or it'll remind you of something, and you're just like, I forgot about that one. Josie says Black Ops 2. I know a lot of people that really enjoyed Black Ops and Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
See, that's a good point, too. Kippy says Minecraft. Because of just how much time, like, to just spend so much time. And that would be another thing for me, is because Prey is, like, really the standout game for me, that just everything about it. I mean, the game hardly had any bugs. I mean, when you watch speedruns of it, obviously they found them. But just a regular old playthrough of the game, like, it just felt perfect to me, you know? And that has always stuck in my mind. But, like, Counter-Strike. I've got like 1,500 hours or something. I've got a ridiculous amount of hours in Counter-Strike. And that is like, you know, but it's the same thing kind of for Minecraft or CarX as well, for the amount of time that I've spent in it. So it's hard to kind of argue against looking at that as well. So that's a very good point from Kippy there. KJ says either Elden Ring or Last of Us 2. And that is a tough call between them. Ooh, Cricket says Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Oh, I spent an inordinate amount of time playing those games.
I played that game too much. Way too much.
Did you ever play Skate?
I even, yes. Even on on my PlayStation here recently, when the most recent Tony Hawk came back out, when they remade all of them.
Yeah.
I bought the game. I bought it.
Nice.
I had to have it. It was awesome.
Is it fun? I've won one. Didn't that come out on PC too?
Hey, Speedy, what's up?
Hey, what's you got, buddy?
So it's going to be an OMT. Both of them DQ'd on their lead.
Both DQ'd on their leads. Yep. And Chase for Chase is too close to call. Okay, so we're going one more time.
Didn't they already? They already ran. This was the one more time.
I guess we're going double below empty.
I didn't know if we could. I didn't know if that was a thing. Is that a thing?
I didn't. Honestly, I've never seen it go double OMT before, but this is the finale.
Well, yeah. I mean, we gotta go for it. Yeah. All right. Well, these guys come around, but they're parked way back there. I don't know if they're maybe asking this. No, they pull up. So I guess maybe getting some clarification. But I didn't know if maybe that was not within the rules or whatever. But
I don't know.
It would appear it is, because here we are. So we have got Blue on the lead, and if you want to watch two drivers make a run again, it's these two. So here we go. Blue absolutely ripping it into that first outside touch and go. Does not make contact with the guardrail on the second one, and steers clear from the tire drops on the outside, making a great run this time around, and Pip staying right on the door, right with him underneath the trailer. What a great showing here from both of these guys, heading underneath. A quick transition from the two. And, well, yeah, I would venture to say by far that is I don't know if you could do any better. That was insane.
The cleanest lead I have ever seen on this line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lord.
Oh, and Pib never left him. That was perfect. Unbelievable.
That is insane. But all right, Pib in the lead, Blue in the chase. A little bit wilder initiation from Pib than we're used to seeing. Kind of loses angle a little bit, but nothing crazy. Coming around and hitting all the zones. A nice transition there. A little bit of contact. Nothing enough to move the line or anything. Coming around, we're going to go under the gas pumps, see how it... Oh, wow. Solid transition there. all the way out to the white line, steering clear of any possibility of a tire drop. Ladies and gentlemen, I honestly don't know if you could ever ask for a better set of runs than that.
Yeah, and the judges might have screwed up calling it one more time, because what are they gonna do now? That was insane. Like, I didn't see a tire drop from either lead. They filled pretty much every zone. I know you did mention coming through this one section at the beginning, Pib got in a little deep here. He filled the zone because it is just a touch and go, and he filled the touch and go.
Yeah.
But he came out a little far here, so he had to adjust. But he did not miss the next two touch and goes. He was just as on the white line, just as deep as Blue was on his.
He just had
lead.
to make a correction, and if anything, that's going to be the one thing that differentiates those two lead runs is that correction.
That correction
by Pib.
That was good, man.
FFS.
Whew, that was wild. Well, the judges are definitely going to have to fill their time clock on this one, because they're going to have to be picking this thing apart pixel by pixel. So looking over at the chat here, we've got a lot more answers on everybody's favorite game. Narco says Shadow of the Colossus. Now, that is one of those games that almost flies under the radar for a lot of people as far as favorite game. But you want to talk about games, like I mentioned about Prey, what stood out to me is it just felt perfect as I was playing through it. Shadow of the Colossus I think might be one of the first games that ever gave me that feeling. Is I was just playing through it like you just have that vibe. You're like, this is something else. And Shadow of the Colossus was definitely that. Battlefield Bad Company 2. Mason's talking about that one.
Bad Company 2 was a very underrated game.
Yeah, Bad Company was both of those games.
Bad Company 2 was underrated as could be. As far as the Battlefield franchise go, Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 4 go hand in hand, in my opinion, as far as best ever.
And Battlefield 1942 that game is pretty much like I'm not gonna. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not going to advocate for piracy or anything, obviously, but can't you pretty much just get that game now?
Yes.
And it still has, people still host servers for it, right?
Yep.
See, I haven't messed with that in quite a while, but that is because I know that would be fun, and you could run that game on a calculator at this point. I mean, that game is pretty old,
yeah.
But oh my God, was that one fun. Megan says Guitar Hero 2. Can't go wrong with Guitar Hero for people that are fans of those. I'm so bad at them. It's all rhythm games. I'm so bad. Like, so DDR or Guitar Hero or any of those style games. And then recently, I don't have any of the VR stuff, but like that Beat Saber, I can already tell you I'd be horrible.
I would absolutely ruin myself on that game. I would not be able to do anything. And I'm a musician. That's the worst part about it. Like, I can find the beat, I can keep time, and I can do all of that stuff.
I think that's what throws me off about it. Is from
if you put
playing
me in a VR headset, I would be fucked.
Yeah. Well, that was my thing with Guitar Hero, especially, or like Rock Band, because like obviously I'm not a drummer by any means. Like I'm not good at it, but there were situations where like my friends would put on a song and I would be messing with the drum. We would just rotate around the instruments and laugh at each other. But like I would be on the drums for like say a Slipknot song. Well, I know Slipknot songs like just in and inside and out. I know all of it. And obviously I would never, Joey Jordison is a monster, but like what would throw me off about playing Rock Band with a Slipknot song, not that I'm some genius musician, I'm not, but it just doesn't work. Like when the game is on like easy or normal, none of the notes line up to the song. Well, I know the song, and of course I'm not good enough to play it on hard mode, but I can't play it on easy because it's just wrong. So I'm just looking at it mad. I'm like, that's not right. Yeah. This isn't the rhythm of this song at all.
No. As a drummer and as somebody who prides himself in being very well versed in the world of metal drumming and playing those songs for covers for years, I put it on expert mode and was sitting here looking, going, none of this works.
Yeah, this isn't right.
Like, that is not what? Why? Why is the note there?
So yeah, I think that's
Why
definitely
did
a
you
big
put
part of
kick
it.
drum there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
ruined
that's a
me. I
big
could
part of
never
it for
play that game.
musicians is like people that play, even people that like dabble in music, is you get enough of an understanding and it throws you off of those games because at the end of the day, it's not a guitar simulator; it's a rhythm game.
No.
It's about it's definitely a rhythm-based game.
Yeah, it is far from a guitar simulator.
Oh, definitely not.
If it was a simulator, there'd be strings.
Oh yeah. Hey, here's one right here. Vengeful. We talked about the Tony Hawk games earlier. He says the original Tony Hawk Underground. I still remember some of the story mode from that game, man. That guy that was like your friend and then like got so full of himself and then all of a sudden became like the main boss or whatever of the game. I can't remember his name. What was that guy's name? Do y'all remember? Your character's like best friend?
I don't remember.
Because like you started out the game and you were like just out of high school or something like that, and you wanted to go on like a skating, you wanted to be a pro skater, but like you had to start at like the smallest little competition and stuff. But like halfway through the game, you actually like you win a semi like major comp. So like all of a sudden now you're famous and getting sponsors. Hey Speedy, what's up?
Speedy? So Pip's gonna take the dub due to Blue dropping one extra tire, and Pip had a better chase.
All right, there you have it. Pib coming away with the win over Blue. Moving on to the semifinals. Our first driver moving into the semifinals. That one tire drop, man. It's that, and it had to be wicked close, too, because we didn't spot it on the live shot.
Yeah, no, that had to have been really close.
But yeah, that's my challenge for everybody
see it.
is, what was the guy's name from Need for Speed Underground, if y'all want to pull that up. Josie says about Lego Star Wars. That's the newer one, right? I've heard that's pretty awesome.
No, the original Lego Star Wars. That was a solid fucking game.
What was that? What was the new Lego? Oh, it was Batman was the new one, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I can't. There's
Dude,
so many
I haven't
games.
looked at a Lego game in so many years.
No, Narco, you are 100% correct. It's one of those games where they really like maximize the ability of hardware at that time and did a good job with it because it was still optimized to play.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus was definitely an awesome game. All right, well, we have our next pairing up here. We're going to have Steve leading Taco here. So these guys launch off the line, head into that first outside there by the gas tanks, make their way around. Oh, a little contact there, which leads to contact between the two drivers. Looks like they're both holding on to those cars. Didn't seem to affect the line very much, but the judges will be keeping that on the back burner. Of course, there's a little contact on the transition as well. Taking some boxes with them here and getting that one on the outside, so that's going to be a tire drop there as they head underneath. But man, Taco is staying in tight on this chase all the way through and not leaving the door of Steve not one bit all the way around there.
Wow, that was an intense run there. All right, Taco in the lead, Steve in the chase. Wow, that was a wide initiation by Taco. Little shallow on that touch and go, but all the way out to the line here, coming up to the transition area by the gas pumps. Very nicely done through there. Not able to make sure he doesn't get in the way of anything and hit anything. Clears the boxes that time, coming under the gas pumps, all the way out to that little barrier there. Real shallow through the second to last outside zone. That might be the nail in the coffin, but it really depends, though. It really depends on how the severity of all the other mistakes that were made between those two runs.
Yep.
Because that was essentially a missed zone. You have half a car width of zone to work with, and I think he was about a car and a half off of that one.
It's crazy the amount of stream delay you get going to YouTube. That's definitely one of the things you notice, because I'm seeing where Narco is just now responding back to where I was talking about the your best friend or whatever from Tony Hawk's Underground.
I do remember Unreal Tournament 3.
Oh, UT3. Oh man, I've always been an arena shooter guy. I think that's why I like Counter-Strike so much when it comes to...
Which one was it where you were like this tiny person in a giant house? That was Unreal Tournament, what, 2?
There were a bunch of different... I mean, there were maps and stuff like that.
The map was the inside of the house.
That sounds like a Quake. That sounds more like Quake than Unreal.
No, it was Unreal.
It was Unreal?
Yeah.
It was probably UT 2004 then, because that was like the biggest game as far as like the community goes.
Yeah, this is old. It played on like Windows XP, if I remember correctly.
That was UT 2004. That game was fun. People still play that.
Yeah.
There's still like a
they do.
huge community surrounding that. UT 2004 and Quake 3 still have major communities around them. Definitely fun games for sure. Then there's some new games that try to recreate that. There's a game called Toxic that is trying to like recreate the Unreal Tournament style, and there's a game called Reflex that I think does a great job covering the gameplay style of, or at least the like competitive gameplay of Quake 3, which is very cool. But yeah, those games still very much alive on their own. As we await the judge's call here to find out who is going to be facing off against Pib in the semifinals after that awesome set of runs that he had with Blue. So it's Steve and Taco here.
And then we're going to have... very confused looking at this bracket now that I'm sitting here looking at it. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, it would appear that we have had a driver that was unable to, maybe they had something come up. We had a few people that have had something to come up this evening. So, well, I guess that's the next run, so it wouldn't be bad for us to talk about it now. It does look like they have marked Mr. Cedars as being unable to compete any longer after his bye run earlier, so it appears that Miss Cookie is going to be moving on to the semi.
Huh. Something came up, but there again, real life takes precedence over a video game. Hands down.
Oh, always. Always, always. So, that's going to leave just the run with two. We've got Steve and Taco here, of course. We're going to find out who's going to face off against Pib. And then it'll be Musha and Scrim to find out who will be facing off against Miss Cookie there. So that's going to be... We have an awesome semifinal coming up, no matter how you look at it, and it's going to lead to a great final and a great third place run as well.
Oh, absolutely. Hello.
What you got, Speedy?
So Steve's gonna pick the dub due to better lead, better chase.
All right, there it is. The Taco Man up out of here this evening. Great work from him so far, but it's going to be Steve moving on to face off against Pib. That's going to be a run for us right there, boy.
No kidding.
Can't wait to see that one. We are stepping ever so closer to finding out who is going to be the final overall champion of Season 3 of the Savage Outlaws Gaming Drift Championship. This is getting more and more exciting by the minute here. Well, we have our next two drivers up. As we said, Miss Cookie is going to be getting a bye run here moving forward. Cedars unable to continue on along in this evening's events. So Musha and Scrim are going to be coming to the line here in just a moment. Here they are. You see that Godzilla machine right there in the lead position. These guys are ready to rock it off out of here. Let's find out who's going to be moving on to the semifinal as they get the green light and launch out of the gate. Great initiation there from Musha's machine here, but Scrim staying right with him all the way around, filling these zones out as they make their way around. A little bit of contact there, didn't seem to affect anything. Just a little bit of a bumper drag as they head under the trailer here. Steering clear of those boxes to the outside, going under the gas pumps. Way to fill out the inside zone going underneath there. We were talking about that lead run earlier from Blue. What a lead run here from Musha. And same thing, man, with that Viper. Scrim not letting go of him, not for 1 second.
No, Scrim had that chase on lock. To be able to keep up and hold tight that lead run was absolutely stellar, but that just goes to show the solidity of that lead run. Scrim going to take the lead on this set of runs. Pretty wild initiation there. Doesn't get quite out as wide, but able to fill the rest of these zones out extremely well. Coming right across the nose of that curb in there. Makes the transition a little bit more space between him and Musha than there was with Musha and Scrim.
Way outside there.
Definitely hits that box's tire drop there. Gets under the gas roof. That was a very nice transition under there as well, I might add. Right across the line, I didn't see a whole lot there besides that tire drop.
The tire drops, yeah. I think the one thing that these two drivers did better than anybody else we've seen so far tonight is that transition through the gas station right in the center.
Yeah.
I mean, both runs, lead and chase, I mean, it was like a work of art coming right through here. They filled out this inside zone here, which is really, well, it is an inside zone, so you're expected to get the nose to go across this line as long as possible, but a lot of drivers are just kind of having to treat it as a touch and go to get their car to transition through that section, which the fact that these guys can get through here without crashing at all is beyond me. But these two really filled out that inside zone there, and then the cleanest of transitions on the way out through the other side.
Yeah, that is not an easy spot to transition, let alone hold your front end across that white line and then transition without hitting anything.
Yeah.
At speed. This ain't the fastest track in the world, but they're not going slow by any means.
Not at all, and I believe the rules allow for up to 1,200 horsepower, and I think against your first initial thought might be to run lower horsepower on a course like this, but I almost wonder if some of these drivers aren't taking advantage of pushing their horsepower to even higher limits to really increase that wheel spin. Absolutely. So that way their cars are not traveling. They don't get that forward grip. They're not moving forward as quickly because the wheels are just, going absolutely wild underneath them.
That's something I would have done. Raise the horsepower by about 100 or maybe 50 to 100 horsepower. Bring yourself closer to that threshold.
Yep.
That way you're getting more wheel speed versus forward grip. Excuse me.
You're all right. Just hoping you're still on the road to recovery. That's, of course, the most important thing.
I'm trying, man. Been a long week, I'll tell you that much.
I'm sure. Hey, there's Cedars over there in the live stream chat. Hopefully everything is all right on his side of things. Wait a minute, he didn't explode when he hit the gas tank over here, did? Is that what happened? The car is gone? He hit his ejector seat and was launched away from the
Speedy,
car.
what's up?
Dub, due to better lead, better chase.
Say that one more time,
Yep.
buddy.
Musha's going to take the dub due to better lead, better chase.
All right, thank
All
you,
right.
sir. Musha right here, coming away with the win, but great stuff here, like I said, from both of these drivers, man. Awesome work there. We did see those unfortunate tire drops there from Scrim towards the latter half of the track, but Musha put down an unreal set of runs.
Yeah, that was good from both drivers, really. Even with the slight mistakes here and there, that was a solid set of runs.
Oh, yeah, and that is going to set our semifinals for this evening. Our final 4 drivers, we're going to see Pib facing off against Steve and Miss Cookie facing off against Musha. We are ready to see 2 barn burners of runs here. This is going to be awesome stuff, and this is going to find out who is going to be facing off in the finals. So here we have it. Pib on the line here, lined up, ready to rock as they launch off. Steve to the inside here on the chase as they fly into these first outside zones here, making the loop all the way around the outside here, filling those zones out. Steve is there in tight on the chase as they transition around. Pib not losing a lot of speed through that section like a lot of these drivers have been tonight. And he gets a little bit of a gap here, but Steve able to catch back up here as they make the transition through the gas station. Back around to the outside, making this loop yet again. Another almost perfect lead from Pib there, and Steve staying right with him all the way through it.
That is just insane. The speed and proximity these guys are getting through this tight course is just nutty. Steve gonna be in the lead this time, Pib in the chase. I expect more of the same from the last run. Pretty wild initiation, gets way out towards the gas pumps, a little shallow through these outer zones here, but able to fill them nonetheless. Loses a little bit of speed coming around that transitional area, unlike what Pib got, but all the way out against those boxes, able to fill out that inside zone right under the gas station. Very nicely done. All up against the white line and across the finish line with Pib just absolutely glued to his door.
Whew. Boy, these guys are getting it tonight, man. Gonna be tough calls for the judges all around, as we knew it was gonna be. Great stuff from these drivers, man. So like we said, this is going to determine who is going to be in the finals and who is going to the 3rd place run. So we'll be seeing all of these 4 drivers at least one more time this evening. Pib and Steve here facing off on some wild runs, and then Miss Cookie and Musha gonna be our next pairing. I don't even know what to say after that. I was just watching that run, man. That was so wild. I've got no input on.
I went back and just watched the replay again, and I'm speechless.
Yeah, great stuff, man, from these guys here. Gonna be an exciting final all the way through.
That poor van.
I'm telling you, man, this guy has been taken out tonight.
That van has gotten beat up all night long.
Just scrapes all across the front. Well, he's lucky he'll have a front bumper at all. You know his headlights are blown out. Lucky he doesn't have a flat tire. This thing has just been... This guy's going to be real mad when he gets off work. Or maybe this is the work van. Maybe he's off today, so he'll come into work tomorrow and be like, hey, what the hell?
Yeah, he's going to show up to work and be like, man,
not again. Not again. Why does this always happen to me?
Those darn kids. What's up, Speedy?
All right. So Pib's gonna take the dub. Do 2 better proximity.
All right, better proximity on the chase. There it is right there. So that's going to be the answer for you, Steve. Great runs, great job making it all the way to the semifinal. We'll be seeing him again in the 3rd place run here in just a little while. But Mr. Pib is your first driver headed to the finals, and if there were any drivers that you could pick from this entire season to say you expect to see them in the grand final, Pib is absolutely one of them. And it just so happens that Ms. Kooky and Musha are the next 2 people that probably come to mind. And seeing Steven there, awesome for him to make it so far as well. All of these drivers absolutely deserving to be in the position that they are in after their performance this season.
Oh, absolutely.
And Miss Kooky and Musha here are about to have a throwdown of a run. Can't wait for this one, and we will find out what our final is going to be. And then stick around. As we said earlier, you don't want to go anywhere after that final run. We have some information about next season's events. Well, here we go. Miss Kooky Rose is on the lead here with Musha on the chase. And they fire off into their initiation. They're a little shallow on that first outside zone. Shallow on the next zone as well, but able to get it back deep into the following zones. Making their way through. A little contact there from Musha. Just a love tap before they make their transition in front of the gas station there. Getting underneath that trailer as they burn it up all the way around here underneath the gas station. No contact between these two as they head through these final zones here.
It gets better and better. Just good grief. Musha in the lead, Rose in the chase. Big initiation by Musha. Able to get all the way out to that white line through outer 2, 3, and 4. All the way up against the gas pumps. Able to transition it under these. Oh, hits the boxes, but doesn't change or alter his course, so he's very good on that one. Under the gas station. All the way back out to outer 2, 3, and 4 again, which 5, 6, 7, or whatever you want to call them, across the line. I had a hard enough time coming up with the words to say how good that run was while he was doing it.
Unreal stuff there. Yeah, that Musha bringing the lead of champions here, but Miss Kooky as well staying there in tight proximity most of the way through. Got a little bit off, I believe, just a little bit of distance between the two after the transition here through the front of the gas station area, but able to gather it back up before heading underneath again. But other than that, man, can't point to many faults in either of these runs. Great stuff from these drivers.
Yeah. There was one tire drop by Kooky that I saw. And that was if you go to your right with your drone during that outside touch and go, which would be 3. You're right. You're the right.
Yeah, this way. I was just turning this way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, wait, what? You're right. But yeah, coming across, the rear tire did go over the white line into the area on the other side of the white line, which would denote a tire drop. The white line is the course line, not the edge of the asphalt.
That is important to note. Is this white line actually floating in the air? Look at that.
It sure seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's floating in the air. Look at that. Huh. I've never noticed that.
What's up, Speedy?
Musha takes the dub, better lead, better chase.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, there we go. The next driver in the finals, we have our final lineup for this evening. It is going to be Pib versus Musha, and that is going to be a wild final run. But before we get there, it is going to be Steve facing off against Miss Kooky for 3rd place. Who is going to fill out the podium here We will be finding out in just a moment. What a night it has been. Pib versus Musha for the grand final of Season 3. Can't wait to see it, but up first, we've got to find out who's filling out the podium, who's taking home the bronze medal this evening. It is going to be Steve on the lead, Miss Cookie on the chase here as they are ready to fire.
Lined up there.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Hold on.
I was looking around, I was like, wait, that's not the right chase
Musha
car.
gonna go for the podium on first and third? What? You can't do that.
He's doing all of it, man. My man's giving the whole thing. Look, there he goes. I was kind of looking. I was like, I'm assuming we're going to get some information on what's going on here in a minute, or...
I got really confused as to why he was getting lined up to run for third.
There we go. These drivers are on the line now, ready to rock here as they take off. So we have got Steve on the lead, Rose on the chase here. Carry a whole bunch of speed into the first few outside zones here. Gather it back up. Rose right back on the door of Steve here as they make their way through this transition. Oh, losing some speed is Rose there. She's got some room to make up here. See if she's able to do it as they come underneath the gas station here. It looks like she is able to. So close across the rear end of that 300 right there. That big Lexus definitely has some weight to it, but it's got the power to move it around. Great first run from these two.
This is an incredible third place battle.
For sure.
So we got Miss Rose in the lead, Steve in the chase. Rose sends it. Big wide initiation with that Lexus. A little shallow on outer 1, or 2, 3, and 4. Very, very nicely done. Losing a bit of speed coming by the gas pumps, though. Under the trailers, all the way around the backside of that gas
Flip
pump.
that
Looks
box,
like a
though.
Tire drum there. Under the gas pump, up against the guard barrier. In the last 2 outer zones, able to get through the last 2 without dropping tire again. So that's very nicely done by her on that part to actually take what you did wrong the last run and improve upon it.
Definitely. All right, well, there we go. That is the finish of our third place run here between Rose and Steve here. So we're going to find out who's taking away the first spot on the podium before we have Pib and Musha line up and find out who takes it all, who's going to win the grand final Savage Outlaws Gaming Drift Championship Season 3 here in 2023.
There's a whole lot going on in the chat right now, and I am so lost.
Yeah, they're having some fun over there.
I have zero clue what is actually going on.
Got to give a big shout out and thank everyone over in the chat for coming and hanging out, and being a part of these events each and every week. And huge thank you to everyone at S.O.G that has been involved in putting these events together. There is so many moving parts that go into doing this, between the judges and the cone cars, the info runners, the administrators putting the event together, everyone that does the graphics, drawing the line and leading up to these events, and of course all of the S.O.G team members that hang out and run practice servers and stuff throughout the week for these drivers, all pitching in and helping out. And whenever somebody is unable to be a part of an event, maybe they find something out at the last minute, there is always 10 people volunteering to take their spot just in case. So the biggest thank you to everyone that made Season 3 here possible. I've got to say thank you specifically to the leader of the team here, S.O.G Kingman, and a big shout out to him. Thank you for allowing me to come join in and be a part of these events, hang out with Brian here and have us some fun commentating on these events and doing what we enjoy doing. So it's awesome to have been a part of these events. Of course, many of you know, we've talked about it a few times. This will be my last event here with S.O.G, as much as it kills me to say so, but I was lucky enough to have gotten a job opportunity that is going to be every Saturday throughout the summer this year, so I will no longer be able to be here with you guys anymore. But be sure that I will be watching along and enjoying these events throughout the rest of the next season coming up.
If I don't see you in the chat next season, I'm hunting you down.
I won't be able to be there live. I'll be at the racetrack.
Pull up your phone.
They're night race. I'm gonna be a little busy, man. I'm gonna be a little. I'm gonna be a little busy, but no, man. I've gotta say, it's season 4 is going to be absolutely awesome. Do not go anywhere after these runs are finished tonight. After our final round is complete, and we have a champion for Season 3. Don't go anywhere, because we have a very special presentation for you guys, letting you know what's coming for Season 4. And we'll be hanging out and talking about that for just a minute before we sign off this evening. And we want to see what you guys think in the chat about that as well. So absolutely don't run away after you see who wins the finals. Stick around with us for just a little bit longer.
Big W's in the chat for Alex. Hell yes.
I
That's what
appreciate
we like to
y'all.
see.
I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all again, like I said, for letting me be a part of this and getting to do something that I love to do. And it's been really fun, so I've been enjoying every bit of it.
It's been a pleasure commentating alongside you for the last couple weeks.
No, dude, it's been so much fun hanging out with you for sure. We've had a blast, man. And I've also got to say a big thank you to Curdy, too. If it wasn't for him, I actually had to take his spot this evening. He had something that came up that he needed to do. He was going to be your drone cam man tonight. But definitely got to show some love to Curdy, because he is the one that makes all of this possible as far as the stream and everything goes. He's the one that set it all up and organized everything and got these awesome overlays and everything going. Everybody that's involved with all of it, man. There's so many moving pieces, like I said, so it's just glad to be a part of it. You can join in as well. All of the socials are scrolling across the bottom of your screen throughout this entire event. Savage Outlawz Gaming on Discord is where you want to go. Come hang out, come meet all of these awesome people and hang out with these guys every single day. Such a great group over here. And you could also run these events as well. All of the rules and everything for these events are set up there on the Discord for you to check out. You can get your car built out to run an S.O.G Drift Tournament event, Drift Championship event. It is a tournament, it's a bracket.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see what next season brings. I do know that I'm gonna have a decision for next season. Well,
yeah, because I know you said you were looking at running some different events throughout the summer.
Yeah. Coming up, I've got a couple of decisions that I need to make as far as whether or not I continue to run in the events or continue commentating.
True.
What's up, Speedy?
Speedy, what you got for us?
We're not gonna tell y'all who won third until after finals.
Oh,
Okay.
So we're gonna all find out about the podium all at one time.
Yep.
Oh, I love it. Oh, they're
like
saving the surprise for.
I
Oh,
like that.
y'all should do that next season for sure. That's awesome. All right. Well, we will have
like
to
that.
wait and find out who, but they have a judgment. So one of these two drivers is going to be your third place finisher, but we have the final main event of the evening coming up right now. The grand final for Season 3 of the S.O.G Drift Championship is coming at you. You've waited all night long for this moment right here, and it's going to be Pib facing off against Musha here. You couldn't ask for two better drivers for the final championship position. They fire those high horsepower engines up. They are ready to rock and roll here, and they rip off the line. Here we go for the finals. Who's going to take it? Pib on the lead as they make their way through the first outside zones here, filling these zones out, and Musha is not letting that lead car go anywhere, tapping him on the door a little bit, letting him know, I'm still here, I ain't leaving you. Staying right on the quarter panel as they make their way under the trailers here. Great angle from both of these drivers, filling all of these zones out, filling the inside zone out. What a transition there as they are wheel to wheel through these final outside touch and goes. What a final first run we had to cap this one off. Whoo-wee!
Good Lord.
Oh, it's going to be so tough to call here.
All right, so we're going to switch position. Musha in the lead, Pib in the chase. I'm losing my voice. This is going to be awesome. Wide initiation by Musha. Good gracious. All the way out to the edge of that white line. Could be a little deeper, but not really nothing that I would say.
Oh, big contact there. Oh, no.
Whoa. Where is he going?
What happened to Pib?
I do believe Pib just said, I disqualified, so
Yep.
I'm going to go sit in front of the judges.
Oh, no.
Hands it over. Hands it over.
He did. He surrendered.
Lord.
Threw in the towel. He's. Yep.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
That makes my stomach hurt.
But now here's a question, though. Here's a question. We did see earlier on this evening, Mason came to the judges and said, hey, I made a mistake. I want to see a run happen again. Do you think that maybe these drivers will come together and say, hey, we want to try for a clean one? Or do you think that Pib is just going to say, nope?
Maybe.
He might just say, nope, that is on me. I made the mistake. So I can't wait to see what we get here.
Realistically, I do believe that it was Pib's mistake. That
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely think so. Okay, because he called it.
Yeah.
So
that was 100% Pib's mistake. Now, do I think that Musha really wanted to win that one on his own without that happening? 1,000% yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
1,000% yes. Do I believe that it is going to be allowed for them to just?
That's true. Yeah, I don't think the driver could really just make the call and say, "I want to go again." It's going to be up to the judges 100%. And
I don't think so.
That is going to be it. So we will await official word here.
We got all kinds of cars moving around.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Well, they already didn't. Remember, they didn't tell us third place either. Speedy's here.
Okay, so question: how do y'all want to do this?
Well, you're the one
Third
telling
place,
us.
second place, and first
yeah,
place.
yeah.
All right, so third place is going to go to Steve.
All right, there it is. Bronze medal.
Okay,
Third place for Steve.
Third place.
Congratulations, buddy. All right. And what's second gonna be? We're getting a double check here. I think we may already know.
Yeah.
But we'll wait for him to come back just in case. Just we don't want to call it official until we have the official word. But here we go. We have Steve pulling forward. So there we go. Steve.
Speedy, what you got?
In the third position.
All right. So you got second. Pib.
Second place goes to Pib right here. Awesome job from him this season. So that leaves our final driver and your Savage Outlawz Gaming Season 3 Drift Championship Grand Final winner for this year goes to Musha. Congratulations. Awesome job from all the drivers this year. And here you have it, your final podium for Season 3.
What an event.
What an event. What a season. Great work from all of these drivers. Now, everybody, be sure to stick around because we have a quick announcement type-ish sort of video here. We're going to let you know all about Season 4, but let's get some love in the chat for our Final Four that you see here for the whole season. Great work and congratulations again to Musha on the win. And here we go. Get ready. Listen up. If you can hear my voice, maybe you've just been kind of hanging out in the house and you've got the stream up on your TV or something like that, get your eyeballs on the screen because we have got info coming up for you all about Season 4 right now. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Season 4, all new specs, new qualifying format. We've got a bunch of people here hanging out in the stream voice chat with us. What do you guys think coming up next season? Are we excited or what?
I'm so stoked. If that video doesn't give you chills, I don't know if you got a pulse, bro.
Yeah, you ain't kidding,
I
man.
got him.
Shoo. Oh, I am so excited. So there's a lot going into it. Is there any details you guys want to let any of our viewers know about it, or is everything still kind of under construction, or what's the word for next season?
We've talked about it since about the halfway point of this season. The monster that Season 3 was from the very first round, that we were going to have to make some changes, and we've listened to the competitors that have come out every single week and ran with us in Season 3. We've listened to other teams. We've listened to the feedback from the community at large, and we've alluded that Season 4 is going to have some significant changes coming, and we're moving to a full qualifying top 32 DC for Season 4. It's going to be not full VDS. We're still going to be open to console players. So it's going to be open to the entire community, but there will be a full rule book. The registration process will be a little bit different. We're going a little bit more professional and streamlined. We are going to have a set panel of judges that are trained, and expectations are going to be set quite high. So that's kind of the gist of it.
All right, you love to see it. You can't ever go wrong with more organization either, that is for sure. So, any thoughts?
Our goal is to bring, our goal is to bring the best possible drift championship to everybody. We know we have kind of been lacking the last few rounds. Things have been a little rough. We apologize, but we promise Season 4 is going to be one that you don't want to miss.
Indeed, we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes running Season 3 and prepping for Season 4. We're going to do our very best to keep as small of a downtime in between seasons as we possibly can. We still got a few little details to button up, but stay tuned in the Discord. We'll be posting announcements and updates as we move forward. There's a lot involved to run a full registration qualifying top 32. There's a little bit more we're looking.
Oh, you ain't lying about that.
So the streaming is going to be a little bit different. I feel like the primary streaming is going to be done on Twitch going forward. It's going to be way more just entertainment value on the stream side. A lot more like what the VDS and the slide styles. Alex, shout out to slide styles. Hey. A lot more of what goes on those production sides, right? We want it to be very entertaining for the people that are watching, and leave some of the nitty gritty getting in there for the judges to some behind the scenes stuff. Just make it a lot more fun to watch overall.
The chat is asking to play it again.
Oh, I already planned on it. That was gonna be how that was our go home. Yeah, that was our go home for the evening. Was we were gonna say our goodbyes and we were gonna run it again. I believe me, I'd already planned on that. Look at that, y'all out here reading my mind. Well,
but yeah, we're gonna try to keep the downtime as minimal as possible, but we're gonna make sure that everything is in place, right, working, and as well-oiled a machine as possible before we send that first round.
For sure, for sure. And like I mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, I am unfortunately not going to be able to participate live during the events, but I'm going to be lending these guys a hand as much as possible on some of that behind-the-scenes action as well. So you'll be still seeing some remnants of Alex on the broadcast, but unfortunately my voice will not be here. But like I said, I will be watching along. I can't wait to see what happens in Season 4 myself. So I'm super excited to see all of you there as well. But I think... does that about wrap it up for us this evening and wrap it up for Season 3?
I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, there you have it. Everybody, once again, your Grand Finals champion, Musha, coming away with the trophy, the virtual trophy, the pixelated trophy. Coming away with the win. And then, of course, you're finishing out the podium there. Pib, second place. Steve, third place. Awesome stuff from everybody this entire season. I've got to once again give a big thank you to S.O.G for allowing me to be a part of it. Brian, you are the man, my friends. Great hanging out with you this season. And I hope you feel better, buddy. I hope you feel better.
I appreciate it.
Curdy, King, you guys, man, thank y'all for allowing me to be a part of what you guys do. I have had a blast all season long, and I wish y'all the best going into next season. I'm going to do the best I can to help make y'all's events as successful as possible. And
absolutely, man. We appreciate you coming and helping us out this season. You stepped in when we had a big need, and you filled it without any hesitation. We appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So I've had a blast with it. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else on a Saturday night. All right, well, for everyone out there, man, this has been the Savage Outlaws Gaming Drift Championship Season 3 Finals. Musha coming away with the win. And we are going to head into Season 4 here, so let's take another look at that ridiculously awesome teaser trailer for next season, and we will see all of you at the beginning of next season. Have a good night and stay safe out there.